Yo, what up? How's it going, y'all? How you doing? Yo, Mega Collects, dude. Good to see ya. How you been? How's your car, dude? You don't mind me asking. And Simply Hideo, dude, with the boom. Yo, happy Sunday, Simply Hideo. How you doing, dude? How's your Sunday going? And I'm so sorry, y'all, but I literally haven't eaten food today. I have to eat this before we actually do anything. I'm so sorry. Yo, Skyr, what up? How you doing, Skyr? How's your Sunday? Somebody else says it's pretty good. Chilled, if anything. How about yours? So I woke up. I went on a walk. It's been super windy. So what's it called? I go on a walk, and there's like a little like canal next to me, and it has like a bunch of water. So it had like little waves, and there's a bunch of ducks in the little canal for some reason. Like it's like a street canal, a bunch of hood ducks. So it was cool. I pretty much went on a walk, and I saw the ducks just kind of like floating in the canal. It was pretty sick. And after that, I came back home, and dude, I broke my back. But real quick, somebody else is all good about have you starve all. Rather you eat than starve all stream. Thank you, Simply Day. I appreciate you. And Skyr says, ooh, what is it? Oh, I had a bunch of leftover chicken, and it's just rice, chicken and rice. It's not gonna look very appetizing because of like the VHS filter. It looks like I'm eating slop. I mean, pretty much I feel like it. But no, it's pretty good. It's just chicken, rice, and a bunch of Japanese barbecue sauce. But yo, Icarus, what up, dude? That's a sick way to spell Icarus, dude. I love that. But God bless, dude. Set up a sick. Thank you. Yeah, I'm super stoked on how it looks. You know, we've been doing this for a while now. And yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Like, yeah, I was telling my buddy Corey the other day, with this angle, I feel like I'm a sim. Like you're like playing The Sims, and like I feel like a sim in the box, you know, in the house. But Mega Collect says their car's doing well. Just like a heads up, Mega Collects, they have like a super sick like they're a big Mega Man fan. I forgot what car it is exactly, but I know they have like their blinker, if I'm not mistaken, is like Mega Man shooting a blaster. It's super dope. But they said they're about to gear up for a Dallas trip for Ghostface Killer next weekend. And eat, bro, get some energy. Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. And Ghostface Killer's gonna be sick. I love Ghostface Killer. That's gonna be a dope set, dude. Have fun. Yo, Run Mooney, what's up? How you doing, dog? How you been? But yeah, I'm eating food. Let me take another bite. And thankfully, it looks like you guys can't hear my chewing noises, I think. And Icarus says, that sounds dope. I can't wait to order a vinyl soon. Thank you, Icarus. I appreciate it. Yeah, man. We got a bunch of them. In fact, here's all the vinyl from just this weekend. So, like, I would love to have you in the next batch of vinyl that I ship out. So, yeah. But I have a bunch of them. So, yeah. Oh, so speaking of vinyl, what I was gonna say was I broke my back because I filmed, or not filmed, but I filmed and took pictures of the Destroy All Monsters vinyl we're gonna drop at the end of the month. And I mentioned it before, but I have like sciatica. So like if I like pretty much like move my legs too fast or something, it like pulls on my back muscles and it like breaks my back pretty much. I went to physical therapy for a long time for it. But yeah, so my girlfriend got me Heelys for Christmas. So pretty much what happened is that I was like pretty much trying to be like, what would be like the coolest thing I could do with the Destroy All Monsters vinyl? I was like, I know, I'll hold the vinyl, do a kickflip with the vinyl, and then jump off my board into Heely and then show off the vinyl. And trying to do a kickflip with Heelys on was like beyond dumb hard because you have to pretty much skate on just your toes because you have the wheels on the shoes. So it's like you're like trying to kickflip like this the whole time. And it took me way longer than I expected just because I'm trying not to like land back on my board with the wheels on the board because then like you're gonna slip out. And there'd be a bunch of times where I'd land the kickflip and then I go to Heely, but the wheel would like, because of the impact of the kickflip, the wheel would fall out of the Heely. It was stupid. But we did get the clip though. But in the process of like all these kickflip attempts, I like broke my back. So a lot of today has also been just like yoga, trying to get my back together. But Icarus says, I need to get back on Twitch to show some love there. Yeah, man, feel free. Yeah, honestly, a lot of people pull up on Twitch. So, oh my god, I'm trying to point at the chat. A lot of people pull up on Twitch. So, would love to have you there too, if you don't mind. But whatever works for you. Mega Collects, I gotta see that Mega Man blinker. Nah, bro, I gotta see you do a set sometime. Thank you, Mega Collects. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, maybe one of these days. I wanna what's it called? I wanna play some more shows, but I'm still waiting for like the right offer, or like having the income to go and do it. Because right now I'm paying off like a bunch of music debt, like just music business debt. But we're getting out of it actually. So for the first time, the net Groovy Kaiju income is going positive for the first time ever. So I'm like, let's go. Well, not ever, but since I started doing the free CD thing, it's finally going net. So we'll see. But I bring it up just because like maybe one day I'll like be able to play a set, so I'll have enough money to book my own show again. But Real Money said they're doing great. Just ate some cheesecake brownies. That's what's up, dude. Cheesecake brownies are hella good. I wish I could still have cheesecake. I'm lactose, dude. That sounds so good. And yo, Rabbit, good to see you, dog. Pitched my voice in BandLab. Now I sound like Pink Pantheress. That's what's up. I love Pink Pantheress. That's sick. Honestly, like that's one thing I want to like. I was actually just thinking about that today. Is I want to start singing more and try to get myself trained to hear my voice at a higher pitch. So I don't, you know what I mean? Because I feel like when you pitch your voice up for the first time, you're like, ugh. But so much of my music is just pitching up other people's voices, and I was like, I probably should just get used to hearing my own pitched up. Because I bet it could go. But we'll see. Simply Adele says, in theory, sounds pretty freaking cool, but I do hope your back will get better. Thank you, Simply Adele. Yeah. I'm already making progress. And it's not as bad as like the last time I broke my back. Because last time it was like, it was really bad. It was like months. But I already feel better compared to yesterday. So that's a good sign. It'll probably be hopefully out of my system by like the end of this week. Or kind of like Wednesday, because we're already at the end of the week though. But and Sasquatch, dude, good to see you. I just replied to your comment the other day, actually. Thank you for liking my Midnight Monsoon song. I appreciate it. But Sasquatch says, I think I'm streaming on later tonight. Oh, hey, man, that's what's up. Gonna play some Oracle of Ages on my GameCube Game Boy player. That's what's up. And how am I doing? Yeah, I broke my back. But, we're doing... Oh, no, I'll explain the story some more. But other than breaking my back, I'm doing pretty good. And Run Mooney says... Simply Adeo, bedside mixes are super fire. I played Balloons TD all last night with that on. Forever in the rotation, homie. Hey, Run Mooney, that's what's hey, if I may, I told y'all. Simply Adeo they could spin, dude. They could spin, dude. Simply Adeo says thank you. Hell yeah. Korean dude, good to see you. W, good to see you. How you doing, dog? How's your Sunday? And Mega Collects, bro, you gotta be careful. Do some back warm-up exercises in the morning and evening. Congrats on the financial increase. You deserve every bit of that. Oh, thank you, man. It's a lot of pressure to create and promote. I know, yeah, dude. Yeah, it's been quite the balancing act. You know what I mean? So, yeah. But even though things are looking better, we're still in the thick of it. I ain't gonna lie to you. We are in the thick of it. But, yeah. And, oh, yeah, hydrated. Green Duder for you. Which, thank you for telling me to hydrate, because I'm also trying to eat food right now. I'll hydrate again. But yeah, and speaking of back exercises, yeah, dude, from when I did physical therapy, pretty much every other day now, I have to do like an hour of yoga for my back. And just kind of how it's going to be the rest of my life. And I was kind of really bummed on that, because I'm very much always like strapped for time. As you can tell, that's why I'm eating food right now, like constantly in life. So when I like kind of was like, dang, I gotta spend the rest of my life doing yoga every other day. Like, if you add up all the hours, it's like a percentage of my life will just be stretching my back forever. You know what I mean? But that being said, I was talking to a buddy of mine, and she was like, yeah, like, you know, like the older you get, the more time you have to spend on just your body. And I was like, yeah, you're right. So it's just part of getting older, dude. It's part of getting older. But yeah. Sasquatch says I have to make a new Groovy Kaiju playlist for my iPod. I've just been busy. It has Bluetooth, but it's 2023 iPod Touch 130 gigabyte before they stopped making them. That's sick, dude. I remember I had an iPod Touch and it was super dope. Dude, remember the old iPod ads? The iPod Touch ads back in the day were like hella sick. Like I remember they like showed off all the cool games you could play on them and stuff. But then like mobile gaming kind of like, I don't know. They sold it as like a game console damn near when they first dropped the iPod Touch. But they are super sick though. But dude, I'm honored to have a playlist on your iPod, dude. Especially like a classic like that. That's sick. Ramuni says, following the hydrate notifications with you. We're upping our water intake for 2026. Hey, let's go, Ramuni. I'll start doing like a cheers or something. Like cheers. Skyer says, I want to get one of those modded iPods with a terabyte of storage. Yeah, the modded iPods look super sick. Like super, super sick. Which low-key I should, because my car has an iPod attachment. Because it's like a Scion TC. And it has like the iPod split up. So I'm sure I could, or hookups. So I'm sure I could find the cable and just put like a terabyte iPod in there. I bet that would go hard. Oh yeah. Mega Collect says, all the yoga is really good for you holistically though. Proud of you for having discipline. I'm a nurse in my regular life, lol. I also struggle with back stuff. That's super sick you're a nurse. That's honestly, I didn't expect that. I mean, if I may, but that's so cool. Not that I like expect you to be something in particular, but dude, thanks for being a nurse. Like for real. I don't know if you ever get thanks for that, but honestly, every physical therapist I've ever had, I'm like, I owe you my life. You know what I mean? Because my back stuff was really bad, like really, really bad. There was like a moment where I was like, I understand why people do hard drugs now. Because the pain was just so constant. Like I felt like my life was like crumbling around me from the pound of pain I was in all the time. So like, thank you for being a health person, for real. But what's it called? You also struggle with back stuff? Yeah, dude. Yeah, it is like, it's kind of like an unfortunate thing you have to like be disciplined about. I don't know, where my like issue is that my physical therapist was like, you don't have to stop skating, but you have to be careful. And what happens is that like, I get so into like pretty much I kind of made a hard rule myself, like no more throwing myself skating. But I was like, but it's for Groovy Kaiju, so I got to do it. And then that's where I fucked up. So I still skate and it's fine. It's just, you might see on my story, I'll post clips here and there, but it's like, I'm like, I can no longer like, I want to get this trick filmed. It has to always be like for fun, or like, you know what I mean? I can't ever try to like skate like I used to in high school where I was like stacking clips. Because when I get into it and I'm like, I need to get this done, that's when I start like pushing my body farther than it should go. And that's when I get hurt. So yeah. But does that make sense? I don't know. But because of that, having the discipline of just doing that helps a lot. And real quick, Mega Collects, if I may, dude, I've been getting kind of ripped. I'm like getting there. I'm not like ripped, but like I'm getting to the point where I can flex now. And like, I mean, you can't see on here, but like, I actually have like a bicep and everything with like the veins. And I'm like, oh shit, like, I don't know. You know, I feel like Emperor Palpatine, where I flex now. I'm like, power! Anyway, the reason why I bring it up is because honestly, dude, going to the gym regularly, like every other day, helped my back a lot. Like I feel like I wouldn't be recovering as fast as I would have if I haven't been going to the gym so regularly. Because even when I get hurt now, like my body recovers a lot faster. So if not even just doing stretching Mega Collects, also just going to the gym. I hate to admit it, but because I used to be a very like, I won't go to the gym, I just skate. And it's like, now that I'm older, I'm like, you gotta go to the gym, dude. You gotta go to the gym. Especially if like health stuff, because it helps a lot. But anyways, I'm rambling so hard. But this is like, honestly, my back has been such a big part of my life. Anyways, Sasquatch says, I love a 1 terabyte modded iPod video, solid state hard drive, Bluetooth, 48-hour power, USB-C mod, they're $400. That's sick. Yeah, that's super sick. Yeah, I mean, so here's the thing is that because I'm such a a computer guy, I would honestly want to do it myself and go lie to you. Like I could buy one, but I feel like part of the fun would be for me to do it. But at the same time, I don't know if I don't really have the time though. I don't know, but yeah, either way, $400 isn't bad. That's actually a really sick price for a sick iPod like that. But that's a bummer your Scion doesn't have the iPod cable as well. But someone makes a Scion USB-C and lightning cable for the aux? That's cool, dude. And yeah, speaking of Scion, Ramuni is like, I love the body of the Scion TCs. Yeah, it's a really cool body. The only thing, like, they have like that like stance of like, I'm a car that goes fast, but it's just so funny how slow they are based on how they look. Because they look like they could just like rip, but then it's just a Corolla engine pretty much. But Sasquatch says the first or second owner lost the iPod cable. You can always ride hybrid longboards. You can still ollie and kickflip. So yeah, the Tesseract 2. I remember. I know the Tesseract 2. You've mentioned it like a handful of times. Yeah, I know. But that's the thing, is that it's less. It's honestly, it's less of like a doing tricks thing, and like I can't ride a skateboard. It's just I can't, like, I don't know what it is. I think it's just the muscle memory of stuff. But like at some point when I turned 16, just I built up too much muscle, and like I don't know. Like, you know, in My Hero Academia, like whenever he punches something, his arm gets all blown up. Like in the early days, you know what I mean? That's how my back is. So if I go too hard for a trick, I like essentially blow my whole shit out, if that makes sense. It's like, honestly, just like that. I'm not gonna lie to you. That's what's happening. And like, so it's like, yeah, I can still spar and fight, but if I have to like fight, if I'm like actually fighting for a trick, that's when I just like, you know what I mean? So yeah. I hope that makes sense. I think honestly that's a really good, yeah, simply Dale, oh Dale. Yeah, that's how, like, I mean, that's the best analogy I can give. So it's like, you know, like Deku can, like, in the early days, he was able to like train and stuff like that and like, you know, spar around, but like when he actually has to fight, like he was like, I get one punch. So yeah. So that's how it is with me in skating. It's like, as long as I'm not like going for that one punch, like I should be fine. But you know, you put the camera on me and I'm like, bro. So yeah, that analogy actually spelled it out, lol. Cool, perfect, I'm glad. Because yeah, that's pretty much what I've learned about my body, is that, like, you know what I mean? I just can't, like, yeah. What's funny too is that that exact analogy, what's funny is my dad, remember my dad used to tell my mom, because I guess my mom would get mad at dad, my mom would get mad at my dad sometimes. Let me just chew, I'm sorry. Oh my god. I'm trying to eat and talk at the same time. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry, this is gross. But my mom, no, my dad would get mad at my mom sometimes. No, I'm sorry. Oh my god, I said this 3 different times. Sometimes my mom would get upset with my dad and they'd be in bed together. And I guess my mom used to kick my dad if she was like, man, shut up. And my dad used to be like, holy shit, you got horse legs. Every time you like playfully kick me, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like, it hurts. So I think I got my mom's horse legs. You know what I mean? Because that's what my dad used to call my mom. She had horse legs. But what's funny though is my mom has the same issue where she'll get sciatica and stuff, but she doesn't do anything athletic. But like we both just have powerful legs. Like if I learned Taekwondo, dude, I would be a weapon. If I was like Hwoarang from a motherfucking Tekken, you know, the one guy that just fights like, my favorite character actually too. Or if I learned Muay Thai, dude, bro, it'd be over. I'd be, you know what I mean? They'd have me on like a most wanted list. Sasquatch says, my left ankle I sprained 3 times at work in the past 15 years. My right probably the same, but I still skate a lot when I feel good. Yeah, exactly. You just gotta, you know, to Sasquatch's point, you just gotta pick and choose your battles as you get older and as you get more injured and stuff. Sibley Adele says, best fighting style IMO. At least one of them anyways. Yeah, dude. I've always loved like the kicking fighting styles. I always thought they were so cool. Cause they're just like, pretty much just like, you know, cause the thing is that like, if someone was gonna fight you and they dead ass stood on one leg and they went like this, I'd be like, no, we don't have to, no. Never mind, I don't want to fight. Because if they go like this, it's like, okay, you know what to expect. But if they dead ass went like, I'd be like, oh, yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. I wasn't that mad, actually. You know what I mean? Because it's like the legs just have so much more like muscle in them. So, yeah. But the thing is, I found about Taekwondo though, it's actually like not a very efficient fighting style, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, if you know Taekwondo in the chat, let me know if I'm wrong. But our Taekwondo looks more, it's like more flashy than it is like actually like, you know, damage. But Muay Thai is like those dudes, like, for real, they'll, like, you know, like, just lightly kick you and, like, break your whole strongest bone in your body. Because Muay Thai is meant to, like, break bones and stuff. It's crazy. Like, Taekwondo, if I'm not mistaken, is meant to, like, embarrass you when you get someone's foot in your face. But Muay Thai is like, I'm going to make it so that, like, you can't walk ever again. You know what I mean? It's like, holy shit. So, yeah. All right, I think we can print orders now. I'm almost done eating. But actually, speaking of stuff. Actually, not speaking of anything. I just want to show off Jermaine. Dude, look how good Jermaine's doing. He is like one giant, remember, I don't know if y'all remember, but you see this giant leaf at the top? I'm like kind of showing it right now. That's grown since we got Jermaine. Jermaine grew that all by themselves, and now it's like a whole palm tree, dude. Jermaine is doing so good. It's crazy. I've never been like a plant guy, but this is my first time actually like growing a plant and like having it do like flourish. You know what I mean? So it's because, you wanna know why? It's because of the power of friendship. The power of parasocial friendship. Sky, it's a video. Hey, thank y'all, I appreciate it. But yeah, you know, fucking let's go Jermaine, dude. Or internet friendship, you know what I'm trying to say. You get what I'm saying. It was more like a joke. I just think it's kind of funny because you know, like Kingdom Hearts was always like the power of friendship. Hell yeah, handshakes all around. Let's go. But I gotta print these orders. Also super random, but I don't know if you just heard, but in the song "Touch My Body and My Soul," the intro is actually a recording of me playing as Mr. Game & Watch on Smash Bros. With the 3DS, and I was doing a duo against another Mr. Game & Watch, and the whole like that was actually me getting a 9 on the other Mr. Game & Watch mirror and me winning. It was on like the Nintendo stage, so I thought that'd be funny to put in there because back in the day I was a Mr. Game & Watch main. Has nothing to do with the song. I just thought it'd be a sick intro. But all right, cool. We got print orders out. There's a lot of them. And Simply Hideo says, and hey, it's memorable for that reason, lol. I know, right? Yeah. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, I don't know, yeah. Oh, that, huh? Yeah, that's my baby brother. He was like 7 when I took that, but it was when dabbing was still a thing. So I was like, it was like one Thanksgiving, I was like, Jaden, do a dab. And he was just like, huh? Yeah! And I had like a ton of reverb to it. So it made like that sick drop sound. I don't know. Uh-oh. Actually, we gotta fix some stuff. I have like an automation thing that'll go ahead and tag when people are in the Kaiju Club, but because I ran out of monies on one of my little apps, it was like, hey, you owe us money. I was like, uh-oh. It like, I paid them their money, and they went ahead and like ran all their computer stuff. Now mistagged a bunch of Kaiju Club members. So I gotta fix that real quick. But Ramuni says, I know nothing about different fighting styles, but I did a year of karate as a kid. I was never good at it. I do still have a broken board from the lessons, I assume? Oh, a Bakken, I'm sorry. For some reason I read broken. I got dyslexia or something, dude. But that's sick though, dude. That's super dope. And speaking of, yeah. Have you ever seen the video of like, it's like a super random like reel or something, but it's like some super buff gym dude. And he was like, I want to like prove that just going to the gym makes you stronger and a better fighter. So he was like, I don't know if it's like real, but he like, you know, he's like a super ripped gym dude. And he's like, I'm gonna find the best Kung Fu master in all of America. And he finds like a guy who I guess immigrated from South Korea to America, and he trained the Korean army in like how to fight. Yeah, I mean, that was like what he did, and then opened a dojo in like San Jose. So he drove all the way from Texas to San Jose to be like, I would like to challenge you to a fight. And the guy was like, are you sure? And he was like, yeah, I want to prove for this video that, you know, strength beats like technique. And he like, even like in the parking lot, he like chugged a bunch of pre-workout. And the guy was like, okay. And he's like, just to make sure, like, we're agreeing on camera that I could hit you, right? And he was like, yeah. And the guy like goes to punch him, and he just turns around and does like one of these kicks. And like the next clip is him in the hospital. I like the buff guy in the hospital. But yeah. And but yeah, that's cool. You know, karate run. I don't know why I'm going all these random tangents. And Skyer says, speaking of inefficient fighting styles, karate is up there with kung fu. Great for learning discipline, but will not save you in a real fight. I feel it, yeah. What's funny is, yeah, that's good to know, huh? Because like low key, I had a buddy who was like literally a black belt in kung fu. Oh, Lori B. Gay. Oh yeah, dude, that's I love your name. That really happened. Okay, sick. I'm glad to hear it really happened. Because I thought like maybe they like scripted it together. You know what I mean? But that's cool that it really happened. But Skyer, speaking of kung fu, one of my like really close buddies, they also like worked at Google with me. Name was Thomas, and pretty much what was sick is that like, you know, they're a very unassuming guy. They like were in the same weird tech niche that I was in terms of like where we worked at Google. But and like he was like, yeah, I love reading science fiction books. And when I'm not reading a science fiction book, I'm at the dojo. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, I'm a kung fu black belt. So he like moved from like the Midwest, I think, to like, you know, work at Google in California, found a kung fu dojo, and he was like one of like the main people there because he was really passionate about kung fu. So I was like, dude, but he just looked like the most unassuming, just like normal guy. But I was like, technically, like if someone, to your point, maybe it's not the most efficient fighting style, but it's just like, you know what I mean? Like not to be rude, but like, I don't know, Thomas, if you ever see this, I'm sorry, dog. But like, for example, we drove through like Venice Beach together. And if I was a not nice person in Venice Beach, I'd be looking at Thomas like, I could get that guy. You know what I mean? But the thing is though, Thomas knows Kung Fu. You know what I mean? It's like, it would have been like, oh shit, what the heck? This guy knows Kung Fu. You know what I mean? And he's a black belt. So yeah, I don't know, I hope that makes sense. I just like it when like unassuming people know Kung Fu. I had another friend in high school, and she was a karate black belt. And yeah, it was just funny because I remember once, like she was telling me a story. I guess she was like at a store or something, and like some guy came up to her or something, and she was just like, oh, you know what I mean? And I was like, what the fuck? She's just random. You wouldn't have guessed that she knew karate, but she did, yeah. Because she was like very much like oh, you know, like I'm gonna go home and like scroll on Facebook. But like when she wasn't scrolling on Facebook, she was at the dojo. You know what I mean? But I don't know why today we're talking about fighting. But it's like I don't know, I watched a bunch of like the whole Jake Paul thing happened where the guy, I think his name was Anthony, what was his name? It's not Anthony Davis, it's a basketball player. Who broke his jaw? Who broke? Anthony Joshua. Hey, Robert.
Order from Robert.
Thank you, Robert. And yo, what's up, Jet? Dude, it's going good. Okay, yeah. Thank you, Ren Mooney. I appreciate you. We found it at the same time. But it's going good. I'm just like super delayed and behind. I'm eating like chicken and rice right now. How you doing, Jet? And hey, Corey, dude. How you doing? Good to see you. Shout out, Corey. Corey says, shout out Ghost Rider Silver Bullet, because that's where I'm headed. Dude, I'm glad to hear you're at That's Berry Farm having a good old time. That's what's up. And yeah, dude, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. But we're talking about fighting styles because, I don't know, I've just been into it because after Anthony Joshua broke Jake Paul's jaw, my whole Instagram feed for like a good 2 days was just only like analysis and breakdowns and like clips of, you know, interviews from the Anthony Joshua guy. And I just found it so insane. Like they were talking like, oh, so what are you gonna do in the fight against Jake Paul? And he was like, I don't know. It's like, I think I mentioned this before, but he like kind of described it like a Demon Slayer character. He was like, yeah, I could just see their soul leave their body. And when I see that happening, I just keep pushing it and pushing it until I see it's gone. And then I go for the knockout. It's like, no, like Demon Slayer, they're like, oh, I could smell the thread in which I could kill the demon. I was like, what is this Demon Slayer fighting? I don't know. Fighters are on a whole other plane, dude. I make jazz music. You know what I'm saying? Like, and Jet says, nah, he's a beast. That's, yeah, no, Jet, I mean, he really is a beast. I was even watching interviews with him, like, he seems like such a humble guy, but it's like always the most unassuming people that are like actually goated at fighting. It's crazy, in my opinion. And remember when he says, reminds me of a Key and Peele UFC skit? I don't think I've seen that one. I'll have to look it up after. When I rewatch the VOD, look up the Key and Peele UFC skit. Super Hideo. Okay, Super Hideo knows it. You got it? All right, cool. Yeah, when I rewatch this, I'll look it up. All right, sick. But print all this out, dude. We might honestly, I'm a little worried because we might run out of a Bronco Reptar vinyl, dude. Like for real. Because like we've been selling like multiple a day, so I'm like, uh-oh. Which I'm not like, you know, that's good, but it's also at the same time I'm like, uh-oh, I have to order more. But I have to kind of like save my monies to get Must Save 1 in like, or because vinyl takes so long to make, I have to save my monies to like order Must Save 1 when that's ready around May. So I have to make all the music first, design the album cover, and then order it. And then it's like 3 months of just waiting for the vinyl to come. Which is kind of a bummer, but you know, it is what it is, man. But yeah, but if I'm like, shit, if we sell out a Bronco Reptar vinyl, I'm like, I don't know what we're gonna do. All right, cool. So we got all that printed, or now we gotta do all the math. But yeah, I want to talk. So that's one thing I want to talk about was no, let's talk about I haven't talked about anything yet, Lamau. So the title of the stream, since we're now like 30 minutes in, music as a love language. Do y'all think music is a love language? What do y'all think? The reason why I bring it up is because I was talking to my girlfriend about it the other day, again, like another time. But I remember one time I told my girlfriend, I was like, I would never cheat because the thing is, because like, I don't know, I've never cheated on anyone in my life. But the thing is, even if I saw someone that was like, oh my God, they're so perfect, I would have been like, but I bet they listen to like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Because like the thing that I appreciate about my girlfriend a lot, she has really, really good music taste. And I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna find someone else like that. You know what I mean? Like we like the same weird shit sometimes. And I'm like, oh, let's go. And like, you know what I mean? There's no way. I don't think there's anybody else that's gonna like the same weird, like, I don't know. The only thing we disagree on is Bjork and Rock and Roll McDonald's. That's everything else, same music taste. Rock and Roll McDonald's to her is like, why would you ever listen to this? And Bjork to me is like whale noises. You know what I mean? But you know what? I like some of the Bjork songs. I'm not gonna lie. I like some of the Bjork songs. But yeah. But somebody else says yes, music is a love language 100%. All right, sick. I'm glad you agree. Cause yeah, I think she likes St. Pepsi more than I do. And I love St. Pepsi, so I'm like, dang it. Like whenever like Better comes on at like a show, oh dude, she loses it. And that's like my shit too. So yeah, so I'm like, dude, even there's never gonna, I don't know. You know what I mean? But even someone like I don't know, someone like not like sometimes, I don't know, I think after going to Yoitoki, I think Yoitoki kind of proved Future Funk isn't like dude music. I think it's very 50-50. If you go to a Yoitoki show, the crowd is usually very 50-50. But I don't know. Even some of like the more experimental stuff, she's like, "Oh, this is sick." And she'll show me stuff sometimes, and I'm like, "Damn!" And like, I don't know. So yeah, so like, the reason why I know I'll never cheat is one, because My girlfriend has some really good playlists, but also too, I own a replica Keyblade, so I mean like that. There you go. You know what I mean? I ain't cheating with nobody. I own a Keyblade. You know what I mean? Come on now. But Jet says, without a doubt, man, it's such a easy way to understand someone, and it's so expressive to know their taste. Like, it says a lot about someone. It can be such a make or break. I feel it, Jet. Hell yeah. I'm glad you feel me on that. I don't think I've ever, like, met someone and was like, oh, we can't be together because your music taste is so bad. But it's definitely, like, something I'm not, like, it doesn't, you know, it would definitely be minus points, for lack of better words. Something not rude to say, but, like, you know what I mean? Somebody else says, that's how I fell in love with my girlfriend now. Found out she played Smash first, and then she told me she was into EDM, and now 8 years, I got her into future funk, and she loves it. Oh, that's so sweet, dude. That's so dope. You play a lot of Smash and Billy Dale? What are y'all's mains? That's super adorable, dog. And Ramoni says, absolutely, sharing music is a big part of the relationship with my partner. Such a valuable connection. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad to hear. Yeah, music's super sick. I'm trying to think of, like, what my girlfriend got me into. Honestly, she kind of helped me get into Prince. Because my family was never really too into Prince. And then through knowing her, she was like, oh, yo, like, my whole family loves Prince. And I've been like, you know, then I took like a whole, like, minute where I just listened to every song Prince ever made. And I was like, Prince is, like, the greatest person of all time. And Subido says, she's Lucina, I'm Shulk first and then Sonic second. Yo, I love playing Sonic and Smash, dude. The little, like, side air to, like, kill. Oh my god, dude. That's so sick. And Lucina's a really cool main. That's super dope. And Shulk is a pretty good main too. The little, like, the one blade. I know what you're talking about. And Remini's a Cloud and a Kirby. Yeah, Cloud's super fun. I think I'm more comfortable with Kirby. Yeah, for a second I was like maining Sonic for like a hot second. But Kirby, I don't know, I love playing Kirby. Kirby's kind of broken, dude. Keeping it real. Like, I know they're not like top tier, but Kirby's kind of broken. And Jet says, Prince, especially Batman, was deadass one of my first inspirations in music. That's sick, dude. Yeah, my family didn't play it very much. Now that I've gotten older, I think it's because my dad was like a very rough and tough gangster from Compton. Like, I'm not saying that lightly, like, for real he was. So I think some of Prince's music about, like, exploring things like being non-binary and stuff like that just probably didn't resonate with him, to put it lightly. You know what I mean? But, like, that's who I am. And so now I'm like, oh, like, you know, my dad loved Michael Jackson. My mom loves Michael Jackson. And, like, you know, they're kind of more traditional in, like, maybe in the bad sense almost. So now that I'm like, you know, I watch anime, I don't care. Now I've gone back and had to, like, reintroduce myself to Prince, and I was like, oh my god. But some of my favorite Prince songs, honestly, dude, Crucial is the first one that comes to mind. The Crucial, I don't know. I really want to do a cover of 1999. Like, no one steal this from me, please. But it's kind of like criminal that no one in, like, the future funk scene, especially playing shows, hasn't played 1999. Like, there hasn't been a good flip of it either, because, like, the song is too, like low key. I don't know how to describe it, like basic synths, but the songwriting is perfect. But, like, you know, just the whole theme of the song to me is like party like it's 19, because it's Yoi Toki, it's all like retro nostalgia. Like, why haven't we played that live as a community, as a scene? We're messing up. So 1999 is probably my number one favorite Prince song. Then probably Crucial. Breakfast Can Wait is really good. Insatiable was probably the first Prince song I actually, like, really got into. 1,000 Hugs and Kisses. A lot, dude. Prince's jazz album is hella good. Oh, my bad. Please don't play. Okay, cool. I don't want to play live. I'm looking at Spotify. Expectation. Prince's jazz album's kind of goated. And, like, no one ever told me Prince had a jazz album. Tomorrow's, I don't know. I gotta make like a just post a Prince playlist at some point. But I haven't heard Peak Control and Soft and Wet, Run Mooney. Let me look those up. I mean, I'm sure I've heard them. I just maybe didn't add them, but I'm super down to give them a second try. Because when I listen to an artist's like entire discography, what I'll do is I'll like just listen to every song once, and if it like catches me immediately, then like it goes in the playlist. But sometimes you gotta listen to a song more than once to get into it. You know what I mean? This goes here. Cool. And Sibley Deo says when Cloud came out and Smash, it was a time. Yeah, for real. Because whenever they drop new DLC, they always like overpower the character first. Which they're like, oh, you know, we just didn't balance it correctly the first time. It's like, come on, bro. No, you want to make some sales, and all the competitive dudes had to buy like the new meta. Which I don't blame them. It's fun. I'll admit, it's more fun when they come out kind of overpowered. But yeah. And Red Money shed tears when they revealed Cloud. Yeah, no, for real. I remember getting emotional when they announced Ryu from Street Fighter. I thought that was super sick. I was like, are you kidding me? Because they were like, I thought it would never happen because they were like competing fighting games. So when it did, I was like, oh my god, that's so crazy. And Jet says, Soft and Wet is so peak. Got me dancing and shit. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad to hear. You have to check it out when I after the stream. And Sasquatch says, I didn't get into David Bowie or Prince until I was in my 30s. Sasquatch says, I'm 34 now and I finally appreciate their music. Yeah, sometimes you just gotta be a little bit older to like, you know, get some stuff. Which is like, that's totally fine. Cause like, keeping it real, like, I feel like, no, I don't know. Like, I feel like dubstep, you kind of have to be younger to get it, you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that you can't be old and not like dubstep, but I feel like if you hear it when you're younger, you're more likely to like attach to it. If that makes sense. I feel like a lot like David Bowie and Prince, you kind of have to be, you have to live enough life to know like what going to the club's like, what partying's like, what it's like to question your gender and stuff, to be like, oh yeah, this is the shit. You know what I mean? You don't do that. I think you know, people are born into, I don't know, I'm getting to a spicy subject, but you know what I'm trying to say. You have to like resonate with that to get what they're talking about. But Remedy says, I still go back and watch those trailer reactions from E3. Rest in peace, E3 for real, dude. E3 was, man, I remember being excited as a kid on G4, like, oh, I can't wait for G4 to be E3. And Remedy says, Ryu reveal, super cool. I flipped my lid when Terry was announced. I used to play a lot of King of Fighters all the time as a kid. That's sick, dude. Yeah, I remember my homie was like a King of Fighters player, and they were like, yo, they got Terry. You know what I mean? And Sasquatch says, Skrillex is honestly fire, though. Scary monsters and nice sprites to speak. It really is. No, it is. But I mean, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, if Scary Monsters at Night, like, if you didn't grow up with it, I feel like if I like got into a room with like a 40-year-old and like a 16-year-old, and I showed them both Scary Monsters and Nice Sprites, the 40-year-old would be like, I don't get it. And the 16-year-old would be like, this is the greatest things ever happened in my life. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like music has to hit you at like a certain age sometimes to like really get you into it. So you to understand it, and then you grow up with it. You know what I mean? I don't know. Now, what I'm trying to say is like, Prince is more mature music. Yeah, I mean, so yeah. When he says, speaking of clubs, I found a bar in the Louisville area called Kaiju Bar. I know what I must request of the DJ. It has to be done. That's so comedy, dude. Thank you, Redmond. That's so dope. That would be hella sick. That's cool to have a kaiju bar out there, though. I'm gonna look it up. Oh, there's a bunch of kaiju bars. There's one in Montana, Florida. And there's one in, Louisville. That's sick, dude. Offering Japanese pub grub, cocktails, and craft beers, along with pool and live music. That's super sick. Hell yeah. And Sasquatch says, but I've never been to a nightclub guy or an alcohol guy. I don't drink at all, but I love EDM and dubstep. That's fine, yeah. I feel like there's like exceptions to every rule. I guess maybe, I don't know, maybe it's because I'm overgeneralizing. But yeah, I think you get what I'm trying to say. But that's sick though. Like I'm super, I'm gonna give an example of music that people know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I look like I like all kind of music. I like Creed. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Keep it real. I like Creed. I feel like people would look at me and be like, "Oh yeah, you're a Creed fan." What makes a Creed fan? I don't know. Skyro says, dubstep, especially Skrillex era dubstep, as I call it, definitely feels harder to enjoy nowadays. So much generic YouTube intro music was made around that time. I just can't take any of it seriously. Yeah, see. Yeah, I feel like it was like a, it was like a time capsule. Or if you were like there when it happened, it was like, oh hell, it was the greatest thing ever. Yeah, I mean, I feel like your brain has to be like at just the right development sometimes to get into music. But of course, there's exceptions to every rule, like Sasquatch is saying. So yeah. All right, we're almost done with the chicken and rice. Remember when he says, for real, I'm glad dubstep and bro stuff has come back heavy. We're finally beating the intro music allegations. My inner child needs to win that battle. That's comedy, dude. Yeah, for real. Yeah, thanks for letting me eat this, y'all. I appreciate it. Honestly, I was like, dude, if I try to stream for 3 hours again and not eat anything, I'm gonna explode. I'm gonna anamorph into an actual kaiju. Super Hideo says, might have been the only exposure to newer music at the time. I only grew up with R&B and gospel at the time, but when that YouTube intro hit, that was an eye-opener. That's sick, dude. Yeah, so it's funny how like we all grew up with different music. But dude, I know this is gonna sound super random. That's cool if YouTube music got you into like electronic music, just specifically from watching YouTube. That's super dope. But this is gonna sound super crazy. But my family, my dad was more religious. My mom wasn't too much. I mean, she is, but she wasn't like, oh, like, we got a X, Y, and Z. My dad was kind of more on that, but even then he would like never really force it on us. But dude, I wish I grew up around gospel, dude, because gospel music goes so hard. Gospel, like every time I play gospel music, I'm like, this is what music's meant to be. You know what I mean? I don't know. But maybe it's because like, I feel like if I grew up around it, I'd be like, ugh, you know what I mean? But I don't know, as an adult, having to like, that's another thing I've had to like show myself as gospel music, and I'm like, this shit is so good, dude. And Sasquatch says, Creed is actually a wild story. How wild they used to be when they partying. I'll have to look into that. I'll have to like watch a video or something. And Red Mooney says, 100%, I grew up with a ton of gospel in my life, too, and found EDM from YouTube. I discovered rap via NBA 2K13. That's so sick. Yeah, it's funny because I grew up with like almost the opposite, where my parents were like the up and up, like, oh, I gotta go to the store to buy the new like Waka Flocka CD or something, you know what I mean? Or my dad listened to like only Eazy-E, lots of Snoop Dogg. Like, they all listened to like cool music. My mom like loved Mariah Carey, and I was the one that was like, I want to play Guitar Hero. And it's like all my friends were like, "Oh, your dad knows about Eazy-E. That's so crazy." And I'm like, "Yeah, whatever. He doesn't know about the fall of Troy." Yeah, I was like, looking back on it, I was like so silly to have that attitude about it when I was like 15, 16. But now as an adult, I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know all the words of the Boys in the Hood." Like, you don't? That's crazy. You know what I mean? But it's like, I don't know. But Sky says, gospel when it's done right is absolutely godly, pun intended. Yeah, no, it really is though. I get it, dude. I like get it, dude. It really is godly. There's no other way to really describe it. Not even like trying to joke on religion, but like honestly, it's really good music, dude. Yo, what up, Eli? Good to see you. How you doing? How's your Sunday? I'm eating chicken and rice, but we're almost done, so I can finally start packing orders. And Sasquatch says, I grew up with Queen Scythe, that operatic old school metal. Oh, that's sick. And a bunch of grunge and classic rock, reggae, and basically every music you can think of. That's cool, dude. Yeah, I grew up with a lot of grunge from my buddy's parents. I have a song called Ken's Song. Ken was like a huge grunge fan, so they really got me into like Alice in Chains and Nirvana and stuff. And classic rock, a little bit. Like, this is a whole long story. This is a whole like story from my therapist even. But I know a lot of classic rock. So I grew up around a lot of Nickelback from my stepmom, which we're not gonna get into all that today. But yeah. And reggae was something I had to get myself into. Like there was a cool minute in high school where I was listening to like Bob Marley all the time. Not to like Toots and the Maytals. But I remember when he says so much old school hip hop was sampled from gospel and soul. It built so much music as we know it. I agree, yeah. A lot of like Common and stuff, and like Jay Dilla and all that. Like a lot of gospel and soul samples. Like, I don't know, dude. Excuse me. But yeah, I don't know. Every time I listen to like stuff like that, I'm like, this is what like, I don't know. Maybe because I'm biased, but every time I hear like neo soul music, I'm like, this is what music's meant to be. It's gonna sound very, please don't take me seriously when I say this. But like, if my heart of hearts, like my heart, every time it listens to that kind of music, I'm like, why do I listen to any other music? This is like what music's meant to be. Which of course it's not, but like, I don't know. I feel like I have like a spiritual experience every time I put on like Erykah Badu or something like that. Or I listen to like a really good Robert Glasper song or something. And Eli says, I drove back to college today, listened to Still Groovy for the first time. Hey, thank you, Eli. If you don't mind me asking, what'd you think? I feel like Still Groovy, if I may, if I'm being critical of myself for a second. So I made all the like OG music, and Still Groovy was me to like come back after a hiatus. But also it was me also trying at the same time being like, okay, I'm gonna come back, but I'm gonna come back and like clear all my samples and stuff like that. So it was like a little bit of like trying to recapture the, not recapture the magic, but like really like expand on what I used to do, but like in a new context. So it was kind of a hard album to make, because it was like trying to like refine my sound, which, not that I lost it, but like, really try to refine my sound while also adding new pieces on top. So it was like a yeah. But Eli says it was really cohesive, and I was shocked when it was over because it went by so fast. But the all music from it was pretty damn good. Hey, thank you, I appreciate it. Hell yeah. Yeah, like I still stand by it. Like songs like Don't Play No Games, dude, still go hard at shows. I stand by that all the time. I still play Senorita at shows. Like, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it's the least popular of all my newer Groovy Kaiju songs, but hey, if I may, there's some bangers in there. I ain't gonna lie. You know what I mean? I feel like if I dropped Senorita today, people still would have been like, yo, this shit, wow. I don't know, if I may. But thank you, Eli. I appreciate you listening to it and like for the nice review, and I'm glad to hear that you liked it. And yeah, it went by so fast because it was my first time clearing samples. So it was like, I pretty much found a bunch of samples that I liked, and I was kind of like, okay, like I have enough, and like I don't know what to, I mean? It was like, it was weird. I think I should have just tried to do like one more, like find myself first and then expand. That makes sense, but I tried to do both at once. So I made a shorter album because I was trying to like make sure every song was good and all the samples were cleared, and it was a lot. I was trying to like, I threw a lot on top of that album. So yeah, and I feel like Just Real Monsters was like, okay, cool. I'm back on steady ground. I know what I'm doing now. Now let's make VTech, you know what I mean? So yeah, that makes sense. But Sasquatch says Everton Blender doesn't get enough credit in reggae. His albums are all fire, from the first 1980 to his final 2011, because he's in his 70s now and basically retired after touring the world. Dude went to almost every country as well singing reggae. That's sick, dude. Excuse me. Future me, when I rewatch the VOD, look up Everton Blender. Because yeah, I'll be honest, like the only like reggae I'm like really familiar with is like Bob Marley. I've tried to get into other artists, but it's not, so this is gonna sound, again, this is another one of my dumb music takes, and I acknowledge it's not good. It's not good. It's just how my brain works. I'm sure we all got music that I'm sure we all got bad music takes. It's just, music is personal to everyone. Anyways, but like to me, it's like every time I listen to reggae, I'm like, I could just listen to Bob Marley instead. You know what I mean? Because I really like Bob Marley's music. So when I hear other reggae, I feel like I'm listening to like people trying to make Bob Marley's music, if that makes sense. So it's been hard for me to find other reggae artists. So I'll look up Everton Blender. That's why I bring it up. But to be fair, when it comes to reggae, I feel the same about Midwest emo. Because there's like very few, like I like Pi Day a lot actually. But other than Pi Day, and I'm not just saying it to be nice because Pi Day likes my music, but whenever I listen to Midwest emo, I'm usually like, I could just be listening to Dads instead right now. If you ever heard Dads, dude, Dads, the Midwest emo band, like just DADS, bro. I can't listen to other Midwest emo because every time I hear Midwest emo, I'm like, it's pretty good, but it's not Dads. You know what I mean? I don't know why, but yeah. And Eli says, overall, Still Groovy is probably my third favorite album from what I've heard. I still prefer Shaw Monsters and Must Save Zero, but it all felt like one long song in a good way. Thank you, Eli. Yeah, it's another thing I want to do too. What's it called? With Still Groovy is I wanted to do my first like each song blended into the next, so all the songs have like really interesting like hard stops because I purposely made it so everything like drops on beat and stuff like that. So yeah, but I'm glad to hear that you like that concept for it. Because since then I didn't make any song fade out. So I don't know, when I made So Groovy, I was really into that, like, I forgot why. I think so I was listening to a lot of like low end theory hip hop then, and a lot of those songs don't ever fade out, they just stopped abruptly. And I thought that was sick. So I wanted to make an album where like it wasn't meant to stop abruptly on every song. And because of that, you get like this feeling where it's like, you know, the crazy ass outro to Senorita and just goes like, bum, ba-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-dum. I don't know. You know what I'm trying to say. Thank you, Eli. I appreciate it, Doug. But Sasquatch says, Rootsman Credential is a good first. Everton Blenders to listen to or Visionary. Sick. Yeah, I'll look him up when I rewatch it. And Jet says, the guy named Buju Banton. Yeah, Buju Banton's pretty sick. I ain't gonna lie. I've listened to a few songs by Buju Banton. And yeah. And to be fair, like, not that I'm like every reggae song other than Bob Marley, I've been like, meh. Like, there's like some Toots and the Maytals songs that I'm like, hey. And I think there's a few Buju Banton songs I've heard that I'm like, oh hell yeah. But either way, I don't know. Future me, when I rewatch the VOD, find my Buju Banton songs that I like. Because I don't even have a reggae playlist. I used to when I was in high school. That's why I listened to a lot of reggae, but I just haven't in a little bit. And Eli says, if I were to compare it to an MJ album, oh wow, I'd say it reminds me of his third album, Music and Me. Oh hell yeah. Yeah, music. I remember Music and Me. That's it, man. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, Eli. And Sasquatch says, I believe Everton Blender made music as good as Bob Marley. So if you love Bob Marley, you'll like his music. All right, sick. And when he says, for other reggae, I recommend The Expanders. Evilest Number is my favorite. Future me, when you rewatch this, also add The Expanders for reggae music to listen to. Evilest Number is my favorite. Sick. Thank you, Ramuni. I appreciate it. All right, cool. We're almost done. I got like 3 bites left. I made this song because What If You Fly? Oh shit.
New merch order from Hunter.
Thank you, Hunter. If you're watching, let me know. I'll pack it after I'm done eating. But oh my god, I made this song "What If You Can Fly" because one of my favorite like random quotes is I forgot where it's from, but essentially it's like the main character is like, "Oh, grandma, like I'm afraid to do this because what if I what if I fail?" And the grandma goes, oh my god, and the grandma goes, "But baby, what if you fly?" And that's why I named the song that, because there was a lot of at the time it was like after I quit my job to do music, I made that song. And a lot of it was like, oh shit, like what if I can't do this? And honestly, a problem has been sometimes I'll like prepare myself for the worst and like the exact opposite will happen and I'll end up in like a weird spot where I'm like, oh shit, I didn't expect to do good. So now I gotta like, and I like, you know, shot myself in the foot a lot from not preparing from the best case scenario, honestly. So I mean, it's like the song I kind of made as a reminder to myself to like both prepare for the worst and the best, because, you know what I mean? Because baby, what if you fly? I'm sorry, I only have one bite left. When the woodwinds cry. And for this song, it's called For My First Love because of skateboarding. Because that was like my first love. It's the first thing I like really fell in love with. And I chose this song as a sample because when he's like, when the woodwinds cry, because like, you know, skateboards, you know, that they're wood. And like, you know, if you do a tray flip, it sounds like, it makes a cool sound. It's like, you know what I mean? So like when the woodwinds cry, I don't know. I thought it was a stupid little like pun. Of course he's talking about flutes and stuff, but yeah. Eli says that album sticks to a very solid genre and sound. Sort of like Still Groovy. Anyway, though, I'm drawing the final panel of this drawing I've been working on for like a week or two. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, Music in Me does. For sure, from Michael Jackson. But yeah, again, thanks for the comments of Still Groovy. And sick, Eli, what's the panel about? I know you mentioned it before. Is it the new character you're working on? I think you said, or you're like redrawing one of your like original characters or something? If I am off, I apologize. But I think that is what you said. We finished it. Let's go. Now we can actually talk about the stuff I want to talk to y'all about. Now that I'm not chewing and being gross. But, okay. I'm gonna keep it on this screen, but I'll keep my mic on. I'm gonna run to the kitchen real quick. And drop this off in the kitchen. It is right here. I'm gonna see if I can get my cat too. Oh no, they're asleep. Let's see if this one's awake. You up? Okay. You wanna come with me, Dio? Right? Yeah, you're Dio. Come with me real quick, Dio. Please. Ugh. Real quick, Dio. No, oh, no, you're fine. I'm gonna leave it open. No, you're fine. You're fine. This is my cat, Dio. Dio! Look at the camera, Dio. Here you go, Dio. Groovy cat. Yeah, I don't let them in here again just because I don't want them to scratch up the vinyl. Because like Dio for real thinks, I mean, you can't see it back here, but I have vinyl that I can just grab real quick, and they think it's like a scratching post, so they'll like dead ass ruin the vinyl if I let them come in here. Because I would love for them to be able to hang out and stuff, but yeah. Let them knock stuff over. Oh, yeah, I'm in the bathroom real quick. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the most, not that it has to be professional, but the most just random, trying to keep my life together stream. All right, now we're here. Okay. Simply Deo, stoked on the cat, rub booty, groovy cat, Simply Deo, love cats, man. Yeah, same here, dude. Yeah, I have both. That's Dio. I have another cat named Donut, but she was asleep. I don't want to wake her up. She would have been like, ah! She would have been so mad if I picked her up. But Sasquatch says, I'm just chilling and recording some Game Boy Advance footage of Hot Wheels World Race. That's cool. That's a tongue twister. Hot Wheels World Race. Hot Wheels World Race. It's kind of like you know, like Bugs Bunny or Elmer Fudd. He talks to Willa. Anyways, I'm also cooking my meal preps for the week. That's sick, dude. Hell yeah. Sasquatch says, I have a whole month of meal preps. I might as well do more so I can freeze them. Yeah, same. I've been meal prepping a lot too, dude. Meal prepping's kind of goated. And Eli says that redesign I was talking about, I finished in like a day or so. Oh, okay. So I could put them in larger drawing because it's Inta's a comic book artist, and he has his own character that I wanted to include it in. Okay, cool, dude. Excuse me. That's sick, Eli. Well, dude, good luck drawing that. I'm excited for you. And Sasquatch says, my black cat Batley is like that too when he's tired, his eyes closed. He's invisible almost. Yeah, for real. They just look up like voids. Yeah, just like dark voids. But yeah, cool. All right, let me print these out. I think I was making the numbers thing. I was. Yeah, we're so, dude. I can't believe I'm so behind today. This is crazy. And my back is broken. That's the real reason why I'm behind, because I had to like do a bunch of extra stretching that I normally wouldn't do. Have you seen the video of Mike Tyson? And he's like in a post-fight interview, and they're like, Mike Tyson, we heard something's wrong with you. And he's like, oh yeah, my back is broken. And they're like, well, what happened? And he's like, I broke my back. And they're like, yeah, but I mean, like, how'd you break it? And he was like, it's spinal. He like provides no extra context to the ring guy other than just the fact that he broke. That's how I feel right now. My back is broken. I broke my back. But Eli says, but overall the final panel is a drawing of a heavily battle damaged shirtless Inta walking away from a battle after killing the alien opposition on an unknown world, his katana dripping green blood. That sounds super sick, dude. That sounds hella dope. Also, I just realized I was probably yelling this whole time because I had noise cancellation on. But that sounds like a super cool design, dog. And it sounds like something I would like see in a comic book. I used to read like hella comics back in the day. Like it's something I wanted to get into when I was like younger. But yeah, no, I just never like had the time to like read them all. But it's still kind of a problem today. Like I want to read more, but I just don't have the time. I'm always out of time. It's one Tyler Creator song. Running out of time, running out of time. Think it's on Flower Boy? I don't know. But hell yeah. Alright, my bad, y'all. I'm just gonna get these little orders printed out. And then I can lock in. Oh my god. 32 orders? Yep, 32. We got more though, so I gotta print those out too. I'll print these first. Oh yeah, but so I was gonna bring this up. So I think today, I've been packing orders throughout the weekend. I think we've gotten like over 100 orders this weekend. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. It's been kind of. I'm super thankful. I'm super thankful, and thankfully my girlfriend's been helping me out a lot. I took her out to go get food the other day to say thank you for all the help she's been doing. So really just been me and her all weekend long, just packing orders. Like keeping it real, y'all. I had to upgrade to using laundry baskets. This is all the orders from just Friday. Like I have to wear the orders from Friday. Like I pull up to the post office now like this, and I'm like, yeah, all the orders, dude. I'm super thankful. So we'll probably get like one more of these for Monday. I'll be dropping everything off. Sasquatch says the meme Mike Tyson's facing his toughest opponent yet, the letter S. That's hella funny. Yeah, because Mike Tyson has a list. It's just funny because again, like some of the best, like most fierce people, like sometimes are the most unassuming. Like Mike Tyson looks like he can destroy anyone, but at the same time though, it's just kind of like, oh, you know what I mean? Like if you were to talk to him, you'd be like, oh, this guy seems really sweet. If you were to talk to him on the phone, actually, you'd be like, oh, this guy, he seems so nice and so sweet. You saw him in person, you'd be like, oh my god. 2013. And another thing I want to bring up, dude, we hit 20,000 orders in total for the whole store. Oh, real quick, my bad, y'all. Remember when he says got a Santa sack for those orders? Hell yeah, pretty much, dude. Like walking up like the musical Santa Claus, the vaporwave Santa Claus. I don't know. And somebody else says that's pretty convenient. Hey, thank you, man. Yeah, I have to go pull it out right now. Max, let me do it real quick. We already did. Yeah, here's my second sack for putting stuff in. Low key, my girlfriend's out getting dinner with a friend, so then when she comes back, she's gonna help me after we're done streaming and stuff to like get through that like batch of orders, because like we just printed out 32. I think this is another 30. Like you can't see it that well, but there's paper right here. There's another 32. So me and her are gonna get through like another like 60, 70 later tonight. Yes, all these orders were okay. Oh no, one of them wasn't. Dang. Oh no, I goofed, y'all. I goofed. Yeah, I'm just doing like a weird thing where I have to like print all the orders out, but like because USPS is like, you're allowed to ship it this way as long as there isn't anything other than music inside the box or inside the package. And I printed one out. There you go. Okay. Oh, dang. Oh, well, it's okay. Somebody else says, did I just what? Oh yeah, my bad. I simply did. Yeah, I think I just did just as I goofed and I printed out the wrong thing. And Eli says, congrats on all the success on your albums. I'd love to see an independent artist thrive. Thank you, Eli. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, thankfully too, like the free CD, I don't make any money, to keeping it real. But it's good because if we ever do a show, I promise you, from what I've seen, people who get just the free CD will pull up for the shows and stuff. So if we ever do a show, then yeah, then it'll all work out. Somebody else says, no, I hate me. You just said 60 to 70. And I did the fucking gesture. My mind went 6'7", dude. No, I'm a 6'7" or 2, dude. I ain't gonna lie to you. I didn't even catch the fact I said 6'7". I said 60, 70, but close enough, dude. Dude, 6'7" is. I'm glad that we've all accepted now that 6'7" low key is kind of great. Did y'all see the video of Ariana Grande? She's talking to like Adam Sandler, and Adam Sandler's like, yeah, I've done about like 6 to 7 rehearsals, and like her face, like she's trying to stay serious, but she's just like, and like not like brain rot in the moment. It's like so funny. Exactly. Somebody else says her face went, oh no. She almost couldn't hold it back. Okay, 1987. Eight, 9 1 9 2 1. Yeah, because pretty much like, especially because like with vinyl, like it weighs more, so like USPS would be like, hey, this weighs more, so you can't ship it with everything else, or else we'll like get mad at you. So I have to like do this weird thing where I have to like go and make sure all the orders that weigh about the same get batched together. Otherwise, I don't know. It's very much like weird. Oh no, I unselected one that I shouldn't have unselected. Okay, that's correct. 1999. Oh my god. Sasquatch says, next time a kid says 6'7", I'll say 369. Damn good time. Yeah, yeah. 369. Damn good time. Yeah. I know exactly that song. Get low, get low, get low. Such a classic, dude. Bruh. There's like a hidden... No, dude. Why? Why is this happening to me? You know, David after dentist, the old meme. And then my bad, y'all. I the numbers ain't adding up, dude. I should have done this before I started streaming, but I had to eat food. Oh, I might have, no. Dang. Thought I found it. No, I think I'll just print them and then I'll figure it out myself. But Matt, what's good, dude? Good to see you. How you doing? And Skyer says it's funny to see celebrities squirm under the weight of memes. Yeah, dude. It really, yeah, because like they're trying to like, yeah, both like in the case of Ariana Grande, where like she's very much, you know, in that case, like very much a part of the culture, like she understands it, and she's trying not to do it. But I also find it funny when like celebrities like don't understand memes that are going on because they're like so like above memes, you know what I mean? Because they're celebrities, and to like to see them try to like stay hip and cool. I don't know. Both sides of it's hella funny. I agree, Skyer. Sasquatch says, I hear Little John in my dreams sometimes. That honestly, that's kind of cool. I wouldn't mind. I'll be partying in my dreams all the time, dude. And Cade says, bought a copy of Monster Tape Zero. Can't wait for it to show up. Dude, Cade, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Yeah, that's what we're doing. I'm printing them all out right now. When did you buy it? I might already have it packed because there's like a bag right here. You can't see it behind the chat, but there's a whole bag of just like a ton of orders. So if it's not already packed, you don't have a tracking number, either you're gonna get it right now, or I'll drop it off at the post office for you on Monday. So yeah. Thank you, Kate. I appreciate it. And Sasquatch says, because how much they played it when I was in middle school and high school, and I played Need for Speed Underground. Yeah, Need for Speed Underground is what got me to Little John as well, dude. And on that same note, somebody was like, to the window, to the walls, to the walls. All right, let's see what happened here. And Eli says, feelings for you. Hey, yeah, dude, I'm glad to see that the instrumental for this is doing like really, really good. I was like super, super stoked to see how well that's been going. Okay, now we got all that printed out. And that's all refreshed. Let's see what's going on. What order did I miss? Oh, this one. That's silly. Or did I? I did, yes. Mm-hmm. And I thought, Ramoni says, I thought 6'7" was referencing 6 foot, 7 foot, or way too long. That's comedy from Lil Wayne. 6 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot bunch. The song is kind of a classic though, low key. I don't blame you. That's what the kids need to learn about. But Sasquatch says the Lost Prophets used to be big back then too, but then the lead singer got 23 years in prison because of what came to light. Oh, The Lost Prophets. Oh, because an artist from the Need for Speed Underground soundtrack. Okay, sick.
New merch order from Jack.
What's a bummer that like they had to like stop the entire, what's it called? Oh, but I'm sorry, Jack. Dude, thank you, Jack. I appreciate it. If you see this, let me know if you grabbed it, and what's it called? Let me know if you see this, Jack, and I will print your order, or I'll pack your order right now. I'm like, I feel like the one meme of Mr. Krabs, and he's like, He's trying to do so many things right now. But Cade real quick says, looks like the shipping label is made on the 9th, like the Flash. I appreciate it. Sick, dude. Yeah, it's probably in this bag. Your order is most likely in this bag, Cade. So I'm dropping off at the post office on Monday. And I appreciate it, Cade, for real. I'm stoked to get this album to you, and I appreciate you being down to support it. Yeah, right now I'm printing out a bunch of other folks' albums. So hopefully they're stoked on it too. But that's a bummer that one guy from a band ruined the remaster for Need for Speed because they were being like terrible. They literally ruined it for everybody. I was like, bro, can you not? You know what I mean? 2015 to 2017. Boom, boom, boom. What's it called? When he says, I'm unk and I'm chopped, I guess. Yeah, dude. I mean, same. I'm definitely unk at this point. And my back is pretty chopped right now, so we're in the same boat, dude. Don't worry about it. But Sasquatch says the game will someday get a remake, but with different music. The Lost Prophets broke up because obviously they hated that singer. They did. It is some bad stuff. I honestly doubt EA was going to actually remaster it because it was a supposed leak. Oh, okay. For sure, Sasquatch. Well, thanks for that context, dude. I didn't know that. All right, I think that prints out all that. All right, let's organize these and then go from there. In fact, I probably should organize all of these. All right, let's bring this over here. Ugh. Yeah, what made it confusing is no fault of this person, but they double ordered the album because I guess they forgot that they already ordered it, and they checked and was like, wait a minute, I already bought this. They were like, hey man, can you cancel one of them? So because of that, my Shopify looked kind of goofy. It was trying to say that you want to print this order for this person twice? And I was like, huh? So yeah. I guess I already know these. And Robert. Hell yeah. Sasquatch says they think Underground 2 will most likely get the remake. That'd be sick, dude. I hope they do, because even cars from back then are so iconic. The soundtrack's so iconic. That'd be dope. But speaking of music stuff too, especially hip hop, you guys, I mean y'all, not you guys, but y'all probably shouldn't look this up unless you like music that's very. It's honestly, it's not. It's like if a horror movie was a music. If y'all like horrorcore rap, it's very not safe for work. It's very but you kind of have to understand that it's like you're watching a horror movie, but it's music. You know what I mean? Anyway, one of my favorite musicians of this genre is named Self-Titled, and one of my favorite bars from them, and it's not scary at all, but it's actually kind of funny. But one of my favorite bars I remembered recently was Self-Titled said, "Sea titled is fresh like salmon at Red Lobster," which I don't know why, but to me that's one of the hardest bars of all time.
New merch order from Robert.
Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you. If you're watching this, Robert, let me know. I'll pack it after we get everything all organized. Sasquatch says Need for Speed Unbound is pretty good, but A$AP Rocky is the only good artist in the game, and the soundtrack's pretty awful. For sure, yeah. Yeah, I don't think I played Need for Speed Unbound or heard the soundtrack. But yeah, I don't know why, but I think that bar is hella hard or hella cool. Sea towel is fresh like salmon at Red Lobster. Because I don't know, like it's, you know, have you ever seen Red Lobster ads? That's like one of the things they advertise. It's just like, we got the freshest lobster. And it's like, how fresh, and like, I don't know, there's like many layers to this one line, because it's like, how fresh is the salmon really? It's a chain restaurant. So is it like, he's saying, like in this case, is he agreeing with the fact that Red Lobster has the freshest salmon and therefore he is fresh like the salmon at Red Lobster? Or is he making a joke, or is it like a self-degrading joke that he thinks he's fresh just like how Red Lobster thinks that their salmon is fresh, you know what I mean? I don't know, it's one of those like, that's how I analyze my rap lyrics. I think of stuff like that. And Simply Dale says, Need for Speed Underbound is free for PlayStation Plus members right now, so they might try it out. Sick, dude, yeah. Yeah, Simply Dale. With the thing emoji. Yeah, this is my Sasquatch. Red Lobster has the worst salmon. Hell yeah, dude. And somebody else says that's a head scratcher right there. Yeah, exactly. Because it's like, you know, it's supposed to be like some kind of like, oh wow, we're so like edgy hip hop music. So it's like, you know what I mean? So it's like, is he making a joke about himself? Or is that like the joke itself is like Red Lobster has the worst salmon, like Sasquatch is saying? Subideo says that's a head scratcher right there. Yep. Sasquatch says it's as fresh as a dirty cat litter box. Hell yeah. I don't think I've actually ever been to Red Lobster. I'm not gonna lie to you. This guy says, could be worse, could be fresh like the fish at Long John Silver's. Yeah, Long John Silver's is questionable. But you know what? I hate to admit it. I love their hush puppies though. Long John Silver's actually has pretty good hush puppies. But yeah, I wouldn't order. I don't know, just fast food fish in general, dude. Like that is like you are asking to get sick, dude. Because fish is like really sensitive to being like undercooked and stuff like that, and you know, and like you're not supposed to eat that much fish because it doesn't have like mercury in it. Like you're only supposed to eat fish like once a week. So like because of that, like, you know, I don't know. There's many layers of like, I don't trust fast food fish. It's just this is not, and there's nothing I'm never like, oh, I wish I could get fish right now and get it in a drive-through. Like those two things never crossed my mind. It is good protein though. Maybe I should. I don't know. Dude, like they have a White Castle out here, dude, and I'm actually, you know, in California they don't have White Castle, and they just opened like, they've had them in Phoenix for a while now, but like they actually have like an actual like White Castle that you can walk into and sit down. I want to go so bad because like one of my favorite movies growing up was Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle, like when I was in high school, or like not even high school, like middle school. Like when I would just watch like Comedy Central reruns of like comedy movies, and that was always my favorite one. I never got to go to White Castle. I went once so far, but I want to go and like I want to go again because the one I went to was like a ghost kitchen in Phoenix where they had it, but it was like, you know what I mean? It was kind of like random. It wasn't like an actual like sit down, like, you know, in the movie where they go to the White Castle and they sit down. I want that experience. I want to order like 30 burgers, 30 fries, 2 large Diet Cokes. But Simply Dale says, in the past, Red Lobster is one of the spots, but these days might be a hit and a miss. Well, actually, which fish restaurant has the new CEO? Like the African CEO guy? Apparently, he turned it around. Is it Red Lobster with the millennial CEO or something? Or no, the Gen Z CEO. Yeah, actually, okay. No, they're not Gen Z. They're millennial. Yeah, but funnily enough, Red Lobster has a 36-year-old CEO right now, and apparently he's like crushing it. His name is Damola Adamolekun. I don't know how to say the last name, I'm sorry. But yeah, I watched a few videos of him. And but yeah, apparently he's turning the company around, dude. We might all be eating salmon at Red Lobster pretty soon. Who knows? But Sky said someone put a roofie in the fast food sushi. That's a bar, dude. I mean, like, not a bar, like an unfortunate bar. Like, you know the memes where it's like it's a bar, unfortunately. But yeah, that's a bar, unfortunately. Sky, I like that. And Sasquatch says pole caught natural wild salmon. The smaller ones have low mercury. Smaller pole caught fish have less mercury than huge order commercial fish. Oh, okay, cool. Well, thank you, Sasquatch, because I was wondering that. Because like sometimes I eat fish like salmon twice a week, and I was like, uh-oh, am I about to get sick? And Red Mooney says Red Lobster. Subideo says, yeah. Red Mooney says they got seafood boils now. A lot of people had complaints about them, and he immediately made the right changes. Finally, a CEO who listens. I think he did a bunch of work with Chili's too. Hey, dude, look at the Chili's. No, but that's sick though. Hell yeah. One of us. Well, we're the CEOs now. But yeah, I still haven't gone to sit there and lobster though. I'm not saying we all need to go over, you know what I mean? But I've watched a lot of interviews with the guy. All right. And then, so other than Red Lobster CEO, oh, have y'all ever heard of Daniel Lopatin? I'm sure y'all have, or not. I'm not sure y'all have, but I'm curious. I'm curious to see if some of the OGs know who Daniel Lopatin is, by any chance. Or you might know him as 1-0 Tricks Point Never. Y'all familiar with the guy? This is to all the Vaporwave people in the chat. I'm testing y'all, low-key. It's a pop quiz. Yeah, okay, Skyer knows. Skyer knows. Anybody else? Going once, going twice? Alright. Well, Daniel Lopatin, 1-0 Tricks Point Never, they're like one of the OG pioneers of Vaporwave. Like, have y'all ever seen the video of like the Rainbow Road thing and it's like, nobody here? It's just that on loop for like 5 minutes. He made that. Yeah. Nobody here. That's that guy. So he did the soundtrack for, remember how I watched Marty Supreme? Oh, Skyer says Nobody Here was their introduction name. Yeah, same here. I also found him through Nobody Here. And Sasquatch says that comedian Christian Johnson does that thing what's happening here, making fun of the batter net cooking. Oh my lord, my stomach bubbling. Yeah. Honestly, that's how I be feeling sometimes. I mean, especially me, because of all my stomach issues. But that's so yeah, Daniel Lopatin, I brought him up because because he did the soundtrack for Marty Supreme, and because he did the soundtrack for Marty Supreme, he was on like a podcast tour. And Eli says, gotta go see you Tuesday, Groovy. Dude, I'll catch you around, Eli. Take it easy, dog. I appreciate you stopping by. Good luck with the panel you're working on, dude. And yeah, I'll catch you on Tuesday. And Simply Deo says, sitting here wondering why does that name sound familiar? And that's because of Discoholic 2, because he uses the song in his streams. Yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Ramuni said, I started with Vectroid with Macintosh Plus, like a lot of people, and found Cloud Rap, Vapor Rap early, like Young Lean. Dude, the Young Lean music video, that music video still to this day holds up. I feel like it only gets better with time. The OG, like, Pokemon, like, if you think about it, dude, the fact that he had Arizona Green Tea and a bunch of, like, first edition Charizards, like, that music video was of its time and perfectly ahead of its time at the same time, dude. That video was, like, looking in the past and the future and the present all at once. Young Link was going crazy, dude. Because of all the Pokemon craze right now. Like, I don't know, dude. That was a prophetic music video, to say the least. And Sasquatch says that lady that cooks with only cans of random food he makes fun of because everything she makes looks disgusting. Yeah. Yeah, some people, man, they, you know, cooking really isn't their specialty, to say the least. I've been keeping track, okay. I always get afraid that I'm like mix up people's like packing slip with their shipping label. but I'm doing pretty good so far. And Ron Mooney says, to this day, my computer background is Arizona T. He's a visionary. Yeah, same here, honestly. Is it the same like Arizona Waterfall? The one that Java Plaza made? I have that too. If so. Ron Mooney. But yeah, so I was watching that podcast with Daniel Lopatin. It was like a film. It's meant for like people who like write film scores. Because essentially they do the podcast because they're like, hey, we're trying to sell you film score programs so you can score your films. But he was on because he did the film score for Marty Supreme, which I mean, y'all saw, I hated that movie. I absolutely hated that movie. I did like the music though, but I hated that movie. And it just, I don't know if y'all seen, but my girlfriend were like, I ended up blocking Marty Supreme on Instagram because I just hated the movie that much. So I stopped getting the ads. My girlfriend still gets the ads. And all the comments are just the Hannibal Buress going, whack. But it's just so frustrating because everybody in like the film industry is like, oh my God, this is like the best movie ever made. And I'm like, everyone I talk to said that movie sucked. Like if you look on Instagram, everyone hates the movie. Like stop trying to make it cool, corporations. It's not a good movie. It's not a good, I'm sorry, but it's not a good movie, dude. I don't know. Ramoni says it's the big cherry branch. Oh my God, big cherry tree branch with the green can color on the backdrop. Okay, I think I used to have that one back in like early college, but I know which one you're talking about. That's sick, Ramoni. Yeah, but I also got an Arizona background, but I have the waterfall that Java Plaza made. But what's it called? So anyway, so the reason why I bring up that because Daniel Lopatin made this soundtrack for Marty Supreme, which also too, just now that I think about it, makes you kind of mad because one thing that bothered me about the movie is that like Tyler Creator was a really good actor, but it's based in the 50s. So like keeping it real, like the movie was all over the place because it's like a 50s movie with an 80s soundtrack, and like Tyler Creator talks like he's in 2025. So it's like, or 2020, like present. Like he didn't change to be like, hey Johnny, what do you think of the apple tree? You know, like he still talks like modern day. So it's just like the movie doesn't know where it's at in time. You know what I mean? Which also kind of like is trippy, but like in a bad way. But anyways, but one of the things is that they were like, oh, that was such a genius move on that movie to do that. And it's like, no, dude, because now I can't get immersed because I don't know what, I don't feel like I'm in this time period. Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, they were like gassing up on the movie. And I like put on 2x2 speed because I was like, I don't want to hear them gas up this movie. I saw it already. Because they're also trying to promote the movie. I was like, no. Anyways, but then so after that happens, then they start talking to Daniel Lopatin about, hey, how'd you get started in music and stuff like that? And it was a really good watch because I never like heard him talk about Vaporwave from his perspective. I only heard like, people who knew him talk about him, you know what I mean? Because like, thankfully I'm in the position where I know a lot of people in like the OG vapor days and stuff. Like the OG Vaporwave people, like Skeleton Lipstick is like low-key an OG. Not even low-key, but yeah. So it was cool to hear his perspective of it. And yeah, he made the Nobody Here video thing. And that was super sick. Oh, okay. Now we're at the hard part because I'm like missing oh no. Oh, I think I found it already. Wow. But now I goofed. I had a feeling this was gonna happen. Hey, Jacoby, love you too, dog. Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. How you doing? And Sasquatch says the Great Gatsby movie with DiCaprio is like that too. They talk modern and the Jay-Z music in the 30s period. The movie is weird as fuck. Okay, cool. I'm glad you filmed me on that. Yeah, because to me it was like so like, what is even going on here? But yeah, so they asked the Nobody Here guy, Daniel Lopatin, like, yo, like, how did Vaporwave start in your perspective? Like, you're one of the pioneers. And this is the reason why I bring it up is because, like, he deadass in that moment was like, hey, look, man, like, you know what? As a musician, I'm not going to say I didn't pioneer it because who would not say that? Because, like, pioneering anything in music is, like, you know, it's such a nice honor to have and nice title to have. But he's like, but I'm humble enough to be like, hey, look, like, what happened was I was sitting in an office and I hated my job, and I downloaded some like free program, and I was in the noise scene, and we were more trying to like explore textures, because like a lot of noise is just like that, like it's just chaotic music. But like really, he's like, I like noise because it's really an exploration and like texture of like, you know, how does a song like sound on your ears? Like, you know, does it sound like scratching? Does it sound like reverby? You know what I mean? So he made that song to kind of like the Nobody Here song to explore the texture of like 80s music and like how to like make that feel a certain way through texture. And he's like, yeah, I just took a 5-second loop of that song and just like added a bunch of effects to it until I got the texture that I wanted. I just uploaded to YouTube. And then he was like, and then other people came along and made it into vaporwave and stuff. But you know, I guess technically I was the first one to like put something like that out there. But to be fair, there's other people that have done this, like, and he even called it chopped and screwed soft rock, because he was like, I grew up around a lot of soft rock and stuff, but I wasn't the first person to like chop and screw anything. You know, you can look at Plunderphonics and the High Art World and stuff like that. But yeah, so what I loved about it is that like he could have totally been like, I was the guy that made vaporwave, yeah, I'm so cool. But he was like, no, look, like I played a piece, but this kind of music has existed before me, it's existed after me, and I played a part in it. But at the end of the day, like, you know, I mean, I'm happy that I could have, but this isn't like my thing. And I just thought that was so humble, so true. So it was just the most beautiful response. Like it just instantly gave me like plus 1 gabillion respect for this guy. You know what I mean? Because if, you know what I mean? It's like, you know, when super random, but when like, I guess US history is crazy, but the British king, when George Washington gave up power, they were like, if George Washington gives up power of the US after breaking away from Britain, then he might be the most powerful man of all. Like, you know, he has the most self-respected man of all time. Because back then it's like, if you controlled a country, why would you ever give up the power? You know what I mean? But it was like the first time that ever happened is that they just willingly gave up power to the next guy to like promote democracy. You know what I mean? So pretty much to see Daniel Lopatin be like have every chance to be like, no, I was the guy that made vaporwave. It was all me. Everyone else is just following my footsteps because I'm so great. But the fact that he like shouted out like DJ, like by the word chopped and screw, shouted out DJ Screw, all these other artists that came before him that did this idea that he already did, that he was doing, and have the humbleness to admit that was just like, when he had the perfect chance to just like, you know, run with it. Oh, dude. I was like, I've never been more impressed by someone in my life. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I just mega respect points to Daniel Lopatin. That's all I'm trying to say. Mega respect points to Daniel Lopatin. Okay, so we got everything organized. Almost. Oh, Sasquatch says, I read the Gargassi book in school. It's mid 2, even though it's supposed to be a classic. That's funny, yeah. Yeah, a lot of like the school books they make you read in school kind of can be pretty mid, I ain't gonna lie. I like The Giver a lot, though. That was one book they made us read that I was like, hell yeah. The Giver kind of goated. And Skyer says, yeah, I wish more people were like that. Exactly, Skyer, because like, I don't know, I've run into so many musicians, especially like living in LA and stuff, that like they would have, you know, lied through their teeth and just completely claimed everything. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, they're like, I'm the guy that invented the trumpet. If you let them, they'd be like, I'm the guy who invented the trumpet. It's like, no, you didn't. You know what I mean? But like the fact that he was able to like, yeah, it's not, I said it really long-winded, but like even just the way he said it was very succinct and was like perfectly explained as like, I played a part, but you know what I mean? I was, if you want to go as, you know, I'm not going to say no, I wasn't one of the pioneers, but you know, it would be wrong to say I am the pioneer. You know what I mean? It just was like, oh my God. I just appreciated the fact that he was able to, I don't know. Tilly Dale said, it's really cool to know. I think it's insane to think that attempt at something became a catalyst for something new. Exactly, yeah. And that's the thing, is that like, he could have totally just been like, it was all me. I'm him. You know what I mean? He could have like totally just gone for that, but he didn't. I don't know. Like that's the thing, is that he came more from a place of like, I'm just glad I could have been a part of the process. Which is just like, dude, so much respect. Okay, so I'm quadruple sure that I did all this correctly, but for some reason I'm missing 2 labels, so now I'm like, what the heck is going on? My bad, y'all. I gotta like make sure this for real works, because I don't want to dock somebody by putting the wrong thing in the wrong thing, you know what I mean? All right, cool. That's for sure correct. And Skyer says The Giver was one of the books that I read in English class that I liked. Exactly, dude. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't want to spoil the book for anyone. I don't know. Even as like a grown adult, you kind of should read The Giver. Because I feel like the older I get, the more like relevant that book becomes. Because I mean, it kind of is like a book about like maintaining history, but you know, I don't want to spoil it. Dun, 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 dun. But Sasquatch said Lord of the Rings books I enjoyed way more than some of the required high school reading books for class. I wanted to read the H.G. Wells science book instead of the Great Gatsby for school, but they said no. But I have all the H.G. Wells science fiction books like War of the Worlds. That's sick, dude. That's cool you have them all. But yeah, I don't know why they have like recommend. I think it's because, you know, they mostly build like a lesson plan around what they want you to read and stuff, because they want to like analyze the book with you. You know what I mean? So like they can't like accommodate every person's book. But unless there was like a program where it was like, hey, pick a book. I remember I got an award because I read some like crazy book about like, pretty much they were like, hey, look, you gotta read so many books, you know, to like win some award or something. And like it was like a program they were doing at my school. And I have no clue what the book was called. But yeah, how did I miss that guy's? Well, I mean, it's not here, so dang, dude. I'm scared that I might have. No, I just triple checked. Okay, yeah, I'll just print it out. So this person's name is Walker. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Okay, cool. But yeah, so pretty much my thing had my school had a thing where it was like, you get so many points from reading so many books, right? So pretty much I found out there was like, you had to read like 3 books, and I was like, bro, I'm not reading 3 books. So I found out they're like, or all you need is like this many points, right? So I was like, okay, rather than reading 3 books, I'll just go ahead and read the hardest book, and then I'll get all the points. And I ended up reading like some really brutal book about like a plane crash survivor, and I was like 8. And it was like, yeah, and the plane wing like stabbed through my abdomen, and I was just like, what am I reading? But I ended up getting all the points. And I remember I got an award because they were like, wow, you read the hardest book in the whole class. And I was like, yeah. But my bad, Ron Mooney. Ron Mooney says, I feel like so much music has started that way. Dubstep version from combining 2-step with UK Garage as an offshoot experiment in London. And now we have Skrillex. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think music is like a conversation. It's like an ongoing conversation between like creatives across the world, you know what I mean? My opinion. Jenna was like, maybe like, I don't know, maybe I'm talking a little like, oh wow, but yeah, that's what I think. We're all just sharing ideas with one another and stuff like that. Sasquatch says, you're talking about Hatchet? No, so I've read Hatchet too. There's another book that's about like a plane crash survivor. Yeah, Hatchet is like, that's when they get stuck in the snow and stuff like that, Sasquatch. This book was just like, no, they like crashed in a plane, and like it was about like waiting to be rescued, and they were like bleeding out. It was crazy. There was a whole other book that was like equally as crazy as Hatchet about surviving a plane crash. But Sasquatch says, I don't have the books currently. I have to buy them again because I lost in the move to Oregon 9 years ago. Oh, okay, yeah, dang. Well, yeah, you know, when you get a chance, you can always buy them again and check them out, dude. I'm not Matthew. I'm not Matthew. You are great, Groovy Kaiju. Thank you. I appreciate the kind words, Matthew. Thanks for stopping by. It's good to see you. Hope you're having a good Sunday, dude. How's your Sunday going, Matthew? And somebody else says, damn, I didn't know that either about two-step going to dubstep. Yeah. But yeah, but also Daniel Lopatin, they also work with The Weeknd. Like, did y'all hear the song on Dawn FM? It's with the Henri sample. Like, Daniel Lopatin was the one that, like, low-key made that song. But I mean, like, made the song. It was very much a vaporwave flip where they, like, ripped most of the instrumental and, like, added some, like, mixing to it. But it bangs, though. Can't lie about that. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, music I feel like is always evolving. It's just like, you know what I mean? Like lately for me, it's been a lot of like Daria core. Like I feel like Daria core is like the current conversations being had with music. Which I mentioned before. Like Zave and all them. I don't know them personally, but that's a lot of like what I'm listening to. That's like, I think the current music, and like even like drum and bass and stuff. Like that's definitely like the current zeitgeist of music right now, is everyone's like trying to like recapture the 2000s magic, like Pizza Hotline and them. The Pizza Hotline though, I think Pizza Hotline was just right place, right time. So when I talked to him about it, he's like, "No, man, I just like video game drum and bass music." I was like, "Oh, okay." I don't think he like meant to be like, "Oh, like, you know, I planned out to make this music because of this time zone, and yeah, like, you know, we're at this time period in the music scene." And he just kind of was like, "Nah, I just like these video game beats, dude. That just happened to be a banging drum and bass DJ." I was like, okay. Sasquatch says, I really like the book I, Robot by Isaac Asimov. Talks about AI and the robot eyes uprising. The Will Smith movie is based on it. Sick, dude. Yeah, I haven't read the I, Robot, but I watched the Will Smith movie. I watched it a while ago. I honestly forgot even what it's about. I mean, I know what it's about, but you know what I'm trying to say. I forgot like the plot. Ramuni says, exactly, who knows what's next? I think about that all the time, dude. So, I mean, honestly, you want to know what's next, dude? I could tell you. If you look at all his like music always works in like 20-year cycles for some reason. Like whatever, like for example, a lot of hip hop sampled the 70s because 90s hip hop 20 years ago was the 70s, right? And Vaporwave's a little too late for it, but Vaporwave was starting about like the early 2010s, and it's a little more than 20, but about 20 years ago was late 80s music, and that's what a lot of Vaporwave is like late 80s smooth jazz and stuff like that, slowed down. And if you look at what's another one? A lot of 2000s hip hop was sampling a lot of 80s stuff. Like it's for some reason it's always like 20-year something becomes nostalgic. So like after 20 years, then that thing becomes nostalgic and people want to like sample it or like reach back for it. Like for example, emo music is really big again right now. Like all the like, you know, Escape the Fate, Attack, you know, My Chemical Romance, all that's going like bonkers right now because 20 years ago is when all that music was coming out, right? Fall Out Boy and all that. So if you want to know what's next, just look at what's coming out in the 2010s. So pretty much we're gonna have a whole bunch of Waka Flocka, Lex Luger, what else is 2010s music? Just that time period, you know what I mean? Like those like trap beats gonna come back, watch. Get like 2030, trap beats gonna be big again. It's too easy, dude. But as Sasquatch says, Night Groove, I'm gonna watch a movie because I've worked 66 hours this week and I have to work tomorrow. Dang. Dude, well, get some rest, man. But the money will be good though. Hey, yeah. No, I feel you on the money being good. Dude, congrats on getting that money, dude. And yeah, dude, good night. Thanks for stopping by. It's always good to hear from you, dog. Take it easy. Ramoni says exactly. I feel like hyperpop was the last new genre, but low key, Sophie was doing that a decade before the boom, and it was just considered experimental. Ramoni, you're spitting, dude. You are spitting. Yeah, that's actually one artist my girlfriend got me. Speaking of like girlfriend music, my girlfriend was the one that got me into Sophie. Because I listened to a lot of Eric DOA, and Eric DOA was like, "Oh, Sophie's so sick." And I was like, "Huh?" And I talked to my girlfriend. I was like, "Have you heard of Sophie?" And she was like, "Yes, of course." And I was like, "Oh, really?" She was like, "Yeah, listen to this." And I was like, "Oh my god." And I was like, "Immaterial girl, immaterial world." But yeah, so whatever was coming out in the 2010s, that's what's going to be big in 2030, low key. So we're going to be lots of listen to this track. Like Big Sean. Oh, dude, people are going to go big crazy for Big Sean. 5 years, dude. Big Sean is going to be on top of the world, dude. Watch. You can clip this, quote me on it. It's too easy. And that's probably when like MP3 players and iPods are really going to come back. It's probably like 2010s. Everyone's going to be like, "Oh, bro, I got my like Y2K or my 2010s iPod or something." And Ramoni says, "Trap is absolutely coming back, especially with artists like Two Hollis mixing so much of it in his stuff. Also, I mean, the Fetty Wap is being released from prison. It's only a matter of time." The Fetty Wap. Exactly, dude. The Fetty Wap. Oh, dubstep will probably come back too, because dubstep was pretty 2010s, right? I know I was just talking about like you got to be younger to listen to dubstep, but like I bet like the 16-year-olds of 2030 are going to be like, Skrillex is the greatest thing that's ever existed ever, all over again. Like dubstep's are going to come back hard, dude. Like that chill dubstep, like, you know, like the UK dubstep or whatever. But I wonder what Fetty Wap's gonna feel like, because like Fetty Wap got memed pretty hard. Like everyone knows Fetty Wap from the memes now. Yeah, you make a good point, Remwini. Fetty Wap's gonna go on the craziest tour of all time. So many people listen to Fetty Wap because of like all the TikTok memes and stuff. There's gonna be like a bunch of like new Fetty Waps coming up. Dude, it's been 2 hours and I haven't even packed a single order yet. I've just been organizing all the orders. Skyr says still waiting for Crunkcore to make a resurgence. Yeah, what Crunk? Yeah, when was Crunk? I mean, it kind of is. I don't know. There's an artist I like named not Beastar the God. Beastar the God's pretty good though. If you're into beat, like B S, like the letter B S T A R, and then the like THE and then God, like GAWD. My buddy Trey got me into them, but they're called I think like 007 something. Let me check. They kind of make some crunk stuff, low key. Let me see. Yeah, it's 127. So the number is 120 and then 7 like spelled out SEVEN. They make some like crunk-ish stuff. Oh, dude, Skyr, a new 303 album would be really funny in 2026. Yep, that's another example of stuff that's probably gonna come back. I bet 303 is gonna that kind of rap, like that bro rap. College rap. Asher Roth supposed to be big again, dude. Watch. Or OG Mac Miller is about to go crazy. And Ramuni says, yeah, I feel like dubstep has been back on the rise since Skrillex, Forte, and Fred again replaced Frank Ocean at the last second at Coachella 2023. Crazy how a single festival can completely shift the direction of certain genres. Woodstock, anyone? I know, right? Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I think a lot of the world works in cycle. Like, you know, what's the phrase? Like, history doesn't rhyme, but it often repeats itself. You know what I mean? There's one of those things where, like, you know, I think music is like one of those, because like music really, if you think about it, now I'm getting my woo-woo brain. But like music is just an experience over time, like movies and stuff. You know what I mean? Like music is time to some degree. It's like, you know, what I forgot the quote, but it's like it's like the sugar in between time or something. I forgot what the quote goes, but you know, it's a way to like decorate time. So like to me, it doesn't, you know what I mean? I think it makes sense that it like works in cycles, especially because it's like rhythmic. You know what I mean? Like rhythm is just like a loop. So the music itself, like the history of music, would kind of like be like that, right? I don't know. I hope I'm making sense. I'm trying to explain a weird concept of how my brain works. While also like tearing up a billion shipping labels. Brendan Mooney says 100%. Okay, cool. I'm glad you hear you're picking up what I'm putting down, dude. Yeah, what else I want to tell y'all? I'm kind of like all over the place today. It's been a wild day. Did I mention that we hit? My bad if I did already and I forgot to like cross it off my list of things to tell y'all. But did I tell you that we hit 20,000 orders in total across the entire Oceanfront Online Shopify store? So huge W's for that, dude. To be fair though, you know, I also use, you know, y'all know if you're in the Kaiju Club that I send out like, you know, I distribute Bandcamp codes through the store, so those count as orders. But technically the order number went past 20,000 for the first time, so I'm like, oh shit. Technically there's been 20,000 orders. So I'm like, oh my god. So yeah, so I'm super thankful. I'll have to like, this whole week has just been like, I should go celebrate this thing. I remember when W store, let's fucking go. Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate it. So it's not 20,000 paid transactions, but technically 20,000 orders. Because again, like I give out free Bandcamp codes and stuff like that. But I was like, hey. And I guess, well, since you got me started on my woo-woo brain, the last thing I want to bring up today was well, not the last thing, but another thing I want to bring up was what's it called? So I found out based on some of my astrology stuff that it was kind of funny. It was saying that the preview window for what's going on for me was when I was building my Game Boy emulator, and so I've been thinking a lot about like what was going on when I was building my Game Boy emulator. Hey, thank you for the congrats, Simply Adeo. So I was like looking through a bunch of old like photos from like 2019, like what was also going on, and I just remembered what's hilarious is that the astrology center was saying was like, hey, whatever you were doing back then, it's gonna be like twice as good back then, but today. And I was like, huh. And I forgot, but the first time I actually seriously tried to like stream on Twitch like we're doing right now, when I built the Game Boy emulator, I completely forgot, and then it was like, oh fuck yeah, that happened. I used to try to stream me building the Game Boy emulator, like writing the code, and then like, you know, but stream it. So there was like a hot second for like 2 weeks where I was like a coding streamer trying to like show off the emulator I was building while streaming on Twitch, but I ended up not streaming on Twitch because like I realized like, oh, there's no way I can like write code and use that part of my brain and talk to chat at the same time. So I was like, let me just not do this. This isn't working out. You know what I mean? But it's just funny because it was saying like that was the preview for what's going to happen today, and then here we are, like years later, like actually doing the stream. So it's like, oh shit. So that was kind of trippy. And I was like, it knew. So yeah. But yeah, the thing but the reason why I mostly brought it up though was because it was funny because I used to live in the hood in Long Beach because it was cheap and I didn't mind. And I remember the cats every night would fight right outside of my window because I like had like an alleyway behind me, and there'd always be cats fighting, and they were super loud. So I remember I was trying to stream, and I was like talking to someone, and just the whole time they were like, "Hey man, I can't hear you," over all the cat fighting noises. I was like, I'm so sorry. That's another reason why I stopped streaming back then, was because like it was just like me trying to talk over like, you know what I mean? So yeah. I had like the cat fight club behind me during my stream the whole time. Let me make sure I put this in correctly. Oh yeah. Yeah, thanks for pulling up, y'all. I appreciate y'all stopping by to watch me organize all these orders. Well, not watch me, just to hang out. But Simply Dale says, in retrospect, hilarious but damn sad at the same time. I know, yeah. Because like at the same time, dude, I wonder if like, you know, it's like one of those things where it's like, what if I just kept streaming and I figured it out? You know what I mean? Would I have been Kai Cenat? I think about I don't know. Actually, one thing is I'm actually still to this day a little salty about not even that. I remember, so I ended up becoming like a pretty real. To be fair, again, to be not to gas myself up too much, but like I am a damn good software engineer. Like, am I up to date anymore? Not really, but dude, at my prime, dude, I was nasty behind a keyboard, for lack of better words. That sounds crazy out of context, but yeah. but what's it called? But even as a kid, I was like, oh, dude, I want to make games. You know what I mean? Like every kid ever, like I want to make games, dude. So I remember I was like trying to find a way to like make games without having to like write code, right? And I found Game Maker when I was like 12, and I remember making like a little like game where you were a clown walking around a room, because it was just a built-in like demo tutorial, and I was like, dude, here we go. I found how to make games. It's over. Like, this is my new life now. You know what I mean? I was so hyped. But it was at the same time that like Dr. Phil, like my stepmom at the time, Dr. Phil was like, is your kid staying up late on the internet? It's because he's talking to strangers who want to touch your children. You know what I mean? It was like when that was like a big thing on like the news all the time, which, you know, valid. But at the same time, because I stayed up super late that one night learning how to build like video games for the first time, my mom was like, you were talking on adults on MySpace, weren't you? And I was like, no, I look at the thing I built. Like, aren't you proud of me? And they were like, stop using the computer so late at night, you're grounded. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, I just built a video game. Why am I in trouble? You know what I mean? So if I wasn't grounded for learning how to be a productive artist, I would have been the sickest indie game designer. But it worked out. So that's the only thing I'm actually salty about, of like, damn, I could have been that. I could have been that instead, dude. All the way from 13. Imagine how good I would have been if I'd really kept up. I'm 30 now, dude. Imagine if I was making games for the last 18 years. I would have been Toby Fox, dude. You know what I'm saying? That would have been crazy. I would have made like Super Meat Boy or something. Yeah, do you have any moments like that where you're maybe this is another therapy thing, but moments like that where you're like about to do something and then like some other, either a parent or like some other random force just like stopped you from going down that path for some reason? Like something that was going to be good for you, you think? Because as you can tell, I'm so salty that I got grounded for making video games. Skyr says several times, dang. Well, I'm sorry to hear you also have several occasions where people blocked your path, dude. But yeah. But I really could have been any game. I don't think I could have been Kai Cenat, but I definitely, or Queso or something, but I definitely could have been an indie game developer. But yeah. What else I want to tell you all about? I mean, you know, I understand why this person did this, but it's a little funny, if I may. But so sometimes if I'm lucky, dude, sometimes people will like grab the free CD and I think I already took it out, but sometimes, here's a good example. Sometimes people will grab the free CD and they'll forget to put an apartment number or something, And so what will happen is they'll get returned back to the mail because like, you know, they'll just put their apartment and forget to put the apartment number on their shipping address. So they get sent back to me. But then USPS will like hold it hostage and they'll give me one of these things and like, you have to like come by and pay money and stuff like that. So they're like, either like, if you want the CD back, you got to pay us money. And I'm like, dog, it would be cheaper for me to just send them another one to get the one I sent them. You know what I mean? Back and then reship it back to them again. So I usually just reach out whenever it happens. But for the first time, I reached out to someone like, hey, look, dude, your order got returned to sender because your address messed up. Like, what's your new address? And they were like, oh, like, that's crazy. X, Y, and Z. And I was like, yeah. Like, if you, I'd be happy to send you another one. Just can you send me your address? And they put ... How do I know this is real? Like, how do I know I can trust you? I was like, Doc, I'm trying to send you back your CD for free. So I have this picture of me that I sent to them. That's just me next to this giant stack of CDs. Like, I'm Groovy Kaiju. Why else would I have 100 copies of Monster Tape Zero? You know what I mean? So yeah, so it's kind of silly. And the Silly Dale says, YouTube possibly, in terms of like the thing that a path that could have gone down. I made a Smash Wii U clip, but I couldn't have a channel, so delayed my start. And now I just don't have the creative drive like I did back then. Yeah, I feel that, yeah. Damn, that's a bummer. Yeah. So you think you would have been like a Smash Brothers YouTuber simply a day? I could see that. That'd be super sick. I'd subscribe. And Ramoni said, my family never wanted me to pursue media work. They wanted me to do accounting. Almost failed at university as an accounting major. Switched to media and journalism. I'm so happy I followed my passion. I may still be working for work, but at least I'm not in accounting. Not a dig on accounting, it's just far from my speed. Yeah, I feel that, Ramoni. Yeah, because I feel like accounting is like the like peak safest job. Because like you know, and not to like, you know, I agree, because it's like, what I noticed with like programming is that some people will get into programming because it's like, oh, I can make all this money, yada yada, and like, well, one, it's kind of like funny how, not funny, it's sad how things worked out where now there's like mass layoffs in coding and stuff, and it was like everyone in the world was like, be a programmer, you'll make so much, you'll have a job forever, yada yada. And now the news is like, oopsie whoopsies, we made a little whoopie whoopie fucky wucky by telling all these kids to become programmers, and now there's no jobs. You know what I mean? And it's like they just screwed over a whole generation of kids that like listen to that advice. Anyways, why did I bring this up? Oh yeah, but when I would meet programmers in the programming field that like got into it because they wanted the money, like you could tell from the quality of their work and like how their career progressed that like they weren't. So it's like, I don't know, and they would tend to be the ones that would really struggle in the job and just like not get what they were really promised from it because they weren't really passionate about it. You know what I mean? So I agree. Even if what you're passionate about just doesn't make any money at all, dude. Like, to your point, Run Mooney, like I think trying to go down that path of something you're not passionate about, you're never gonna like actually excel in that thing like people think you will, even if you make like the smart decision. Because if your heart's not in it, dude, you're just not really gonna go anywhere with it. You know what I mean? In my opinion, like no matter how bad or how safe no matter how bad people want you to be good at it or how safe the job is, like if you're not actually passionate, like you're not going to go anywhere really, I think. In my humble opinion. So I'm also glad to hear that you switched out of it, dude, if I may. Especially because journalism is like important, dude. Especially these days. We really need more journalists, like bad. You know what I mean? We really need journalists right now. But yeah, accounting is kind of crazy. But the reason why I bring up is so safe is because like even when like the economy is terrible, like we still need accountants to find out how fucked we are financially. You know what I mean? So even when finances are bad, you need finance people. Simply Deo says, oh, for sure. I had an online friend group at the time and we'd play all Smash. So Simply Deo talking back about their YouTube Smash channel they possibly could have done. I had an online friend group at the time and we'd play all day, every day. But now I haven't spoken to them in a long time, and my channel now is just small montages of Rocket League from years ago. Okay, I feel that, yeah. Well, Simply Dale, is YouTube... I'm sorry, this is... You've unlocked... There's a part of my brain that loves to push people to do cool stuff. I don't know why, Simply Dale, and I'm so sorry, but you're about to get it. But is YouTube something you still have a passion for? Because honestly, dude, there has never been a better time to be a YouTuber. Which I know it might seem like it's so saturated, but dude, it is not. Like if you look at the numbers, like from a simple numbers perspective, I think for every like one YouTube video that gets uploaded or something like that, for every YouTuber, there's like, I think like 10,000 YouTube watchers. So people are desperate for like more YouTube videos right now. Especially as YouTube gets more and more niched. Like, oh dude, there is like such more people who are hungry for YouTube videos than people can provide right now. So if it's something like, I know you say you don't have the creative drive, but like if there's any, I don't know, if you ever consider it, man, I'm just saying like, there's never been a better time to start than right now. If that makes sense. Plus, I just like seeing people like accomplish their dreams. It makes me happy. Like I would love if there was just a newsletter or a social media account that was just like people accomplishing their dreams. I'd be like, hell yeah. Yo, hey there, Squid. What up, dude? Thanks for stopping by. Good to see you. How you doing? And Squid's a cool name, dude. Super Hideo says, want to say sort of. I've got an idea to upload their music mixes there, have montages of the visuals behind them. Okay, sick, yeah. Yeah, I'd say why not. But the thing is, like, YouTube isn't the most DJ friendly. But I don't know if you've seen the playbook, but a lot of like the like Bug Club radios and stuff like that, they crush it by like doing the YouTube videos and not monetizing because you can't. And you have to do a play where you just use YouTube for the views and then you throw a show somewhere. And that's kind of like how they like monetize the YouTube channel, is through shows, like in-person shows. But you have to like, go really big for that. But not, you have to like, even if you're just doing it for fun, that's like the more important part. And plus, again, Silly Dale, you're a pretty good DJ, dude. You throw your mixes up, people can actually see what, you know what I mean? These bookers can see, like these show DJ bookers can see, or promoters, that's the word, can see what your skills, man, and be like, hell yeah, we gotta book this guy. I'm trying to see Simply Hideo play a show. Remember when he says, that sounds sick. Imagine getting a comment asking for a song and just lose right back to the rest of your content. Very dynamic setup. Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. Yeah, Romy was replying to Simply Deo. I agree. Oh yeah, but just yesterday I've been so like scatterbrained this stream. But yeah, I took all the videos for Destroy Monsters New Game Plus. I did that kickflip, that's how I broke my back. But before I broke my back, I took a bunch of other funny pictures. Like the usual pictures. I went to a park, took a bunch of nice pictures. And I've purposely kept the vinyl design kind of secret because I want people to be like, oh shit, that vinyl looks so sick, what the heck? So I'm excited for y'all to see the actual vinyl pressing design because it looks crazy. And I'm not just saying that to like marketing, but like I'm saying that legitimately because I'm like, oh shit, I know they can make vinyl like this. You know what I mean? I did a bunch of funny things. Like I did a clip of me like at one of like the park grills and I acted like I was cooking something and I just pull up the vinyl and I'm like, I don't know, it's kind of silly. And Simply Dale says, y'all about to make me stay up thinking about making it happen and starting streaming again too tonight. Lamau, yeah, hell yeah, dude. Dude, why not? If that's what your heart's telling you, dude. I don't know, I kind of feel like in general though, my hot take is tall for Hobbit. Hey dude, good to see you. Thanks for stopping by. But I'm glad to hear you're excited to see the vinyl design, dude. Yeah, all of them came out pretty cool. I don't know. I'm excited to share it. In like a couple weeks. Yeah, pretty much I have all the photos. I gotta edit all the photos down. And I gotta make all the landing pages, they're called. So like you can actually like, you know, pretty much I always make it so it's like you land on the thing and it's like, would you like fries with that? I'm sure you all have noticed. Who's ever grabbed my merch before, I always have like these pages where it tells you what the thing is and asks you like, do you want fries with that? Because a lot of times people are like, yeah. Because it's nice. I don't know, because I figured like, rather than like being like, hey, like, you know, just dropping the vinyl, that's it. Like a lot of times people are like, yeah, I want a keychain or I want someone else to add on that and I'll throw it all on a discount. Because like I've had people sometimes buy stuff like piecemeal and have to pay shipping twice. So it's like, I'd rather ship you one big thing than a bunch of small things. Because then it's like you're spending more money. You know what I mean? So that's why, you know, would you like fries with that? So I had to make all the would you like fries with that for the Destroy All Monsters New Game Plus. And then yeah. And that's it pretty much. And then write up all the emails. And to keep it real with y'all, I just go to the old emails. Whenever I do like a new launch for like a new vinyl or something, I always go back. The best performing like email was when I dropped the Monster Shape Zero vinyl. So I always just copy that one and then paste it. And then of course change it. I don't just copy paste the exact same thing, but I'll like make it more relevant to what's going on. But like the flow of that, I make it like, pop. I don't know. So that's pretty much my to-do list for the next couple of weeks is just pack these orders and like lock in on getting everything set up for Destroy All Monsters. And yeah, Rum Mooney, Simply Dale. I mean, Rum Mooney's telling you Simply Dale, you can do it, homie. Anything is possible. You know one meme? Anything is possible! I agree. Oh, and my favorite comment from announcing the, no, I said that last time. Yeah, someone was like, I used to pray for times like this when I like dropped the announcement reel. Oh, speaking of Ariana Grande, I was on the Tamagotchi subreddit because I like Tamagotchis. So I'm in the Tamagotchi subreddit. And somebody, I guess Ariana Grande posted on her story that she had a Tamagotchi. And all the comments were like, one of us, one of us. And yo, Jace, dude, good to see you. How you doing? And Jace asked, what's your favorite 3DS or DS game? Thank you. That is a hard one. For DS, honestly, dude, I don't know why, but the first one that comes to mind is Metroid Prime Hunters. That game kind of slapped. And then for 3DS, I mean, it's kind of a cop-out, but Smash Brothers 3DS? Smash for 3DS was kind of sick. Because it was the first, like, handheld Smash, so it was, like, which I'd wanted for a long time. So it was super cool to have it. But what's, like, a more, like, obscure... I like Super Mario 3D Land. That was really good. That comes to mind. Low-key, Kid Icarus for the 3DS was super wild. For the 3DS. Yeah, that's what comes to mind. How about you, Jace? What's your favorite 3DS or DS game? But that's what comes to mind when off rip. And Simply Dale says, I'm gonna see what I can do. I need to record some gameplay from Steep. Hell yeah, dude. Yeah, I gotta record more gameplay myself too. Low key. I always be just going on YouTube, find other people's gameplay. I gotta make my own gameplay. That's funny. Well, hell yeah, Run Money. We got Simply a Day to live their best life and do art. Let's go. Yeah, only if you're comfortable though. Only if you want to, Simply a Day, but we'd all like to see you do it. No pressure. Okay, I think, and that's right. Oh yes, it is. Okay, cool. All right, so this is all the orders. Oh my god, we did it, y'all. They're all organized. And Jay says, I tried coming back to Super Smash Bros. On 3DS after playing on for a Switch for the longest time. I still wonder how I managed to play on the 3DS. Low key, dude, same. Because they did the whole thing where like they added like the outlines of the characters so you can see them more clearly, but it is still kind of awkward. But dude, look how thick, how many orders we got. This is like, I don't know if you can hear it on the mic. It's like a whole book. So yeah. So if you're watching this and you're one of these orders, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm not trying to be a weirdo that flexes. I just genuinely am so thankful. Yeah, for real, for real. But Jay says, if I had to choose my favorite game, it had to be the Yokai Watch trilogy. Yeah, I remember when the Yokai Watch trilogy dropped for 3DS back in the day. Like people were like, "Yo, this game kind of slaps." I remember trying it, but I never got too into it. But that's sick though. Yeah, you're in good company, Jace. Because yeah, I remember reading about that. Oh, also, I found out. I'm kind of mad. I've been buying my bubble wrap from like Amazon, and the other day I had to go to Sam's Club for something, and then I found out they had bubble wrap because I like needed some really bad, and I found out Sam's Club has cheaper bubble wrap, like per square foot. So I'm like, oh shit, I gotta go to Sam's Club to get bubble wrap, and it's better quality too. I was like, dang, I didn't know Sam's Club. I didn't know your game, Sam's Club. You know what I mean? Simply Doe says, if people believe, I gotta believe in myself too. Hell yeah, dude. You got to, man. And yeah, we do. I mean, I do. I did as I've heard your mixes. I like them. I genuinely like them. Red Mooney says, hell yeah, heavy on the no pressure. Yep. Art is art and art is beautiful. Red Mooney fills me on the no pressure. And Red Mooney says, money spread. Now we order spread from arm to arm on this stream. Hey. Thank you, Red Mooney. I mean, I would do it, but like low key, once I did it and I dropped all the orders, and because I have to organize them, dude. Oh, dude, I almost cried. I had to reorganize them all, and I was like, "That's karma. That is karma if I've ever seen it." All right, are we all up to date? We gotta print out just one more order. Hell yeah! And then we can make some. We could pack a vinyl, and then we'll stop streaming because I got other stuff that I gotta do. I mean, I'm gonna pack all these orders probably tonight with my girlfriend when she goes. She's out getting dinner with a friend, but I need help. I need her help. But what the heck? All right. I gotta print out one more thing, but why is it do? Here it is. Boom. Yes. Yeah, my bad. This is such a scatterbrained stream, y'all. My bad. You know what I mean? But I hurt my back. I hurt my back. Please forgive me. I hurt my back. Cause I also just like earlier, like when I woke up today, getting out of bed took me like 5 minutes. Like legitimately, just like. Ugh. So like, I've just been so behind today because I've been just trying not to like not be in pain. I feel better now though, but it took like all day to be better. That makes sense. And Jay said, I just recently came across your music, and I can confidently say, after giving a few of your songs a listen, I can confidently say you're my kind of music artist. East Ocean Boulevard on top. Thank you, Jace. I appreciate you, dude. What's cool actually is I think beginning of February I'm gonna release a remix of that song too, like a slowed down remix. So like I did like a vaporwave instrumental version of that song that's gonna come out like I think the first week of February, Jace. So yeah, look forward to it. But East Ocean Boulevard is also one of my favorites too, and I'm glad to hear you like it, Jace. Thank you for the kind words, and I'm glad I could be one of your kind of music artists, man. Yeah, I'd be out here just chilling, making beats, making beats and jazz. And that one, that one, that one, that one, that one, cool. And Jay says, can't wait to see it. Hope your back feels better, lol. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, I'm stoked to hear that you're stoked on it. And thank you for the good look on my back, dude. Yeah. But thankfully it's starting to feel better. And Roses, you made it. How you doing? Good to see you. How's your Sunday going, Roses? And oh yeah. Yeah, I've also been watching a lot of like videos on Greek mythology lately. Cause I never like learned it a lot in school. Like I kind of like missed out on that low-key for some reason. So I was learning about like Persephone and like Eros and Psyche and that whole Greek mythology story. I was like, oh wow. And Rosa says it's been nice. Rosa's Sunday's been nice. They had some good beef stew from their mom. That's sick. That's so nice. Yeah, it's been cold. It's wintertime, so it's the perfect time for beef stew. That's sick. Hey, Leo.
From Leo.
Thank you, Leo. I appreciate you. If you're watching, Leo, let me know and I'll pack it right now. Since the orders are all organized, I can now actually pack it. If you're watching. Dun, 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 dun. All right, I'm trying to. That goes there. That goes there. That goes there. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Hell yeah, it's all organized. I can't believe we did it, y'all. All right, we're gonna do Logan's order just because it's a little bit of a funny one. And then maybe we could do 2 orders. Maybe we'll be a little fancy and do 2 orders. Actually, on the Pack and Chill stream, it's been more like organized pieces of paper stream. But yeah. Now print out Leo's order real quick too. Actually, no, I'll do it later because it'd be. Let me lock in. I always get distracted. Had a yawn. Oh yeah. Have y'all ever seen like the fried chicken ice cream on Shark Tank? I got back into watching Shark Tank clips, low-key. Oh! Actually, before that, another story I want to tell y'all that was kind of wild is I went to go play. I finally got to use my Magic the Gathering proxy deck that I bought. And dude, I won my first game. The first game I played, smacked him. I was like, yep. I am a Magic the Gathering guy, I guess. But what was wild is that pretty much my buddy's buddy flew into town. And he was like, dude, I'm so excited for you to meet him. But I joined halfway through the Magic the Gathering night, and they never introduced me. I was like, so at some point I had to be like, hey, my friend told me he wanted me to meet you, but he never introduced us. My name's Aaron. And he was like, hey, I'm Emilio. I was like, it was so awkward. It was kind of funny. But because my buddy that like had me invited me over, he was like so locked into his game, he like never even like remembered to introduce us. But thank you, Sylvia Deo and Roses, for the congratulations and the A's. It was just kind of funny. I was like, dang, dude. But also too, my buddy, like, this is like a perfect, remember how I mentioned this a bunch of times, but one time I went to Korean barbecue and the Korean barbecue place put in Spotify 2025 into YouTube to play music for the restaurant, where I was just like, dude, like you really don't care about music if you go on to YouTube to look up Spotify 2025. You know what I mean? Well, my buddy, he put on a no copyright synthwave mix as like the music for the Magic Night. And at some point I almost lost it. I was like, dude, I like went up to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and I was like, please let me play music. none of the music was bad, but I was just like, because he's just like, yeah, you know, it's just music. And I'm like, no, dude, this is my life. I can't sit here and listen to no copyright synthwave mix 2025. I'm sorry. So I put on like a Mind Design live set, and like it was funny because like the whole room of the party was like Magic the Gathering, and I put on like my music, and everyone was just like, yeah, like it just completely changed the vibe. And I was like, dude, I was like, next time you have people over, let me know and I'll send you a YouTube mix to play. Because I can't be having you, you know, play music like this, man. We're friends, man. Ask me for help. I got you. You know what I mean? Yeah, it was kind of funny. But I was actually thinking about making that one of these days. That exact situation's happened to me a couple times. I was thinking about it a lot, and then I wanted to, because like a lot of like us are like into like games and stuff, and like I figured there must be a lot of like, I mean like who's mentioned D&D a bunch? I think not cancel. Somebody's mentioned how they're gonna like, maybe it was Shrimp, might have been Shrimp, but someone mentioned how they're having like, they have like a friend group coming out so they can all play D&D together. Someone in chat, I'm sorry, I know who you are. I just forgot, you know. That's the point. So a bunch of us here play D&D, so I forgot which one in particular had the friend group coming out. Anyways, but like people will come out together and play like Magic or like D&D or something like that. A lot of them need music, so I want to make a Monster Tape Zero thing that's like, hey, do you need music for your Magic the Gathering night? You should get the CD. Just pay the shipping. So one of these days, I'm gonna make a Monster Tape Zero thing, which is like a boombox. 2 people playing Magic the Gathering, like probably like, you know, maybe I'll get like 3 or 4 people, and like, you know, not show their faces, hopefully, and like just bring out how I angle the camera to make it like Magic Night CD essentially, to see if people like that, see if it resonates with anybody. Don't want to do only for love. It's only for love. It's only for love. But yeah. Oh yeah, but I was going to talk about fried chicken ice cream. Anyways, I was talking about Shark Tank. Yeah, recently Shark Tank. I always just watch the clips on YouTube. But I guess there's a company that makes like fried chicken ice cream. And it was the biggest. They were like, how much does it sell for? And they said $100 for 9 pieces. I was like, what? How are you selling ice cream for $100? I was like, who's buying? Yeah. Who's buying fried chicken ice cream for $100, dude? Like, you know, if I had the opportunity, if someone else bought it and they're like, hey, do you want this? I'd be like, yeah, I'll try some. But I just can't. I just can't, dude. I could never. Oh, this hurts so much. This is how bad my back is. This hurt. I'm in so much pain right now, trying to cut up this bubble wrap. Ugh. Okay, we're good. But Red Mooney says, oh man, I only played D&D one time. I was too scared to get into character and I got myself killed off. I'd love to give it a fair shake at some point. Yeah, so honestly, I don't play D&D myself. But I have like NetNavi, the person I made the Ichi mod. I should ask NetNavi. No, next time they come on, I'll have to like have them give all the D&D tips. But yeah, they're like a DM. But NetNavi, the guy I made the Ichi Mafia album with, they play a lot of D&D, and they love it. So like, it's definitely worth giving a fair shot. If you get a second. And Roses says, I still want to play one day. I just don't know anyone who would want to jump in for the first time. Yeah, I feel that, Roses. Yeah, that's the thing about it is, like once you get a group going, it's like, I guess you all, like you can only like keep the campaign going unless you're all there. So you need to find like a solid group of friends that like can want to hang out in person, like at least like every other week at minimum, or else it becomes like hard to do. Yeah, I wanna play Baldur's Gate. I remember playing that a little bit with some friends back when it was still in early access, but I never like followed through on it. Cause it's like the same thing, low key, except like it's a video game. And it's kind of like a pre-built campaign, if that makes sense. But like the real fun is like all like the shenanigans you can do with your friends. And Rosa says, the most I've done is have fun with campaign concepts a little bit. I feel it, yeah. Yeah, I've always been like around, like back when I was in college, I was in like the computer science. Like, I never joined officially the computer science club, but I was friends with everyone that was in it. So like essentially I got like all the benefits of being in the club without actually having to like do anything with the club, if that makes sense. It was kind of sick. But yeah, they would play D&D sometimes while I was like writing code. But I was never like participated. So I've like seen it go down. And to your point, Ron Mooney, it was kind of like interesting to see them get into character and stuff. One of them would talk like Batman, and I was like, this is comedy. Like I wasn't like laughing at, I didn't laugh at them or anything, but it was just kind of like, you know, they're having fun. I was like, this is sick. And everyone when he says, I know there's a lot of online groups, and I think there's a website called Roll20 that's specifically for D&D online. Okay, sick. Hey, that'd be pretty dope. Yeah, that's a good resource, Roses, if you're interested that Ramooni's talking about. Whoa. Okay, I gotta print this out. Oh yeah, what's hella funny though is I watched a video called "Who's Still Keeping Arby's in Business" by the food theorists. Because I like honestly I had to click on it because I was like, dude, every time I see an Arby's, I'm like, who the fuck is eating here, dude? How is it still open? I don't know a single person that eats at Arby's. But apparently, like, who was originally it was mostly like boomers that were eating at Arby's because like the roast beef sandwiches there, I guess, are like hella good. And then where they got them is that I guess people in the Midwest, especially like millennial anime fans, they like really knew how to appeal to them. So like maybe not in like on the West Coast, but like more on the East Coast, Arby's is like crushing with a lot of like anime millennial fans and stuff, because they'll post like Kill la Kill sandwiches and stuff. Like they had like a Kingdom Hearts sandwich for like a limited time or something like that. Which I was like, damn, if I had known about that, I would have went, I'm not gonna lie. Simply the last summer I chose so tempted to try Arby's because they had a promotion where you can go get a sandwich for free every day for a month. That's wild. I would have been so down. Yeah, look, okay, maybe I'm the problem. Maybe we gotta eat at Arby's. Not sponsored, dude. Because I'd be down for a sandwich a month. And somebody else says I should have, but I never found one in time. Yeah. I mean, maybe it wasn't meant to be, dude. You know what I'm saying? Rosa says I've never tried Arby's before. Yeah. I've had it as a kid. I'll admit it, like, I remember my parents just being like, if you eat here, you're gonna get sick. But I remember eating there and it was pretty good. But it's just never, I don't know why, but I just have like a weird thing about Arby's. So when I saw that video, I was like, thank God someone else understands my lack of Arby's. And Ramoni says Arby's is overrated in my opinion. Curly fries are fire. Yeah, I do remember the curly fries at Arby's are pretty dank. That I definitely remember. I'd even say better than Jack in the Box curly fries. And every time I think about, I think I mentioned this before on stream, but every time I think about Jack in the Box, I'm like, what food cuisine is Jack in the Box, dude? They got egg rolls, they got shakes, they got tacos, they got hamburgers. I'm like, what is this place, dude? They didn't commit to any like genre of food. They were just like, we just got stuff in the kitchen. What do you want? You know what I mean? They got cheesecake. You know what I mean? What is this place, dude? Yeah, simply Dale, the Cheesecake Factory of fast food, it sounds like. Yeah, pretty much. If you think about Jack in the Box, it's kind of the Cheesecake Factory of fast food. They have the most random menu items, dude. But yeah, other than Arby's, I also watched a video from this one guy named Timbo Imbit called Why Your Gamer Tag Matters More Than You Think. Oh, Rosa says, oh, I like Cheesecake Factory. You know what's I've actually only been to Cheesecake Factory once in my entire life. I barely, like, it's like a hazy memory. I remember going with, like, I think my aunt or something and getting like spaghetti maybe. And we just never went back. And as an adult, I've never been like, oh, should I go to Cheesecake Factory? I like cheesecake though, but I can't eat it anymore. Or else I would, you know what I mean? And I know like the whole thing is that their menu is like super, super big. All right, we gotta pack. I write a note. Ramoni says, I recently found Jack in the Box this year and it's just amazing to me. Wasn't anywhere near me forever. Dang, dude, it's wild you didn't have any Jack in the Boxes. I've grown around them like my whole life. Like my body is probably, so much Jack in the Box has gone through my biological system, it's probably not okay. How much Jack in the Box I've eaten since a child. But yeah, Jack in the Box it's good, it's just random, dude. Like the $2 tacos, kind of probably one of the I mean, I don't know. Yeah, not the. I don't know. I'm hesitating my words because right now, government's doing some goofy stuff. But I'll be honest, the first thing that came to mind is Jack in the Box is like one of the reasons why I'm proud to be an American. Like, just like, right when I thought of like, hell yeah, $2 tacos, I heard an eagle scream, just, bah! You know what I mean? What the fuck is a kilometer? $2 tacos? $2 deep fried tacos, dude, hell yeah. But yeah, Jack in the Box is kind of amazing, dude. I'm sorry. Simply Dale says, I don't know if you can tell how much I'm smiling, right? To me, this is, I'm making myself laugh in my head, I'm sorry. Simply Dale says, they live to their name with the cheesecake, no lie there. Food's not too bad. Okay, cool, yeah, I need to go to Cheesecake. I want to go to Cheesecake Factory and White Castle. I've been to P.F. Chang's. That's another one place that I was like, damn, I remember P.F. Chang's. And South Park just always joke about them. And I went for the first time and I was like, pretty good. I like P.F. Chang's. Rosa says, only like 4 times. I never got a chance to get cheesecake. I should get some soon. Okay, sick, yeah. Yeah, same. Maybe we got to do another Groovy Kaiju chat field trip, Twitch stream field trip to the Cheesecake Factory. And remember when he says, my number one spot, gotta be Cookout? Dude, I've never been to Cookout. I want to try Cookout, though. I've heard about it. I've always heard, like, Cookout says, what if an entree could be a side? What if you can get a side of a hamburger? Cookout don't care, dude. Which I think is so sick. And it just sounds hella good. But yeah. Oh yeah, but I was gonna talk about, there's a video called Why Your Gamer Tag Matters More Than You Think. And honestly, the video was okay. It was very much like one of those moments where it was like, I'm not a statistician, but I'm about to do some stats. And it's like, okay, man. You know what I mean? Which, to be fair though, I got caught doing that the other day because I have a buddy that's trying to move to Japan. And he was like, I was like, bro, he was like, I gotta start a Japanese business. And I was like, and he was like, my idea is I want to make a karaoke spot where you can have your own like kitchen, so you can like sing karaoke, but then bring your own food to cook with your friends or something. And I was like, and he was also like, I should make bento boxes or something. And I was like, dude, you need to do American bento boxes. Like you got to make like a quesadilla bento box. Because I bet they would go crazy on DoorDash in Japan or something. You know what I mean? So, and I was like, it's like, the thing is this is a business book called Positioning, right? I haven't read it, but and they just laughed at me so hard. Because like, I own the book Positioning, which is, from what I understand, is just a book about like how to position yourself in like a market. So like, that's what I was trying to explain to him, is like, how many other competitors would there be for like American bento box by an American in Japan? So I was like, if you can swoop in somehow, dude, and be like, yo, we got chicken enchilada bento boxes, bro, people would be like, I gotta try it. I just gotta try it. And if it's good, like, dude, GG's, you know what I mean? Roses says that's actually a good idea. Hey, thank you, Roses. But yeah, it was kind of silly because even though I'm about to, you know, I said this one guy in this video was like, I'm gonna do a bunch of stats on gamer tags, and like, even though I'm not a statistician and tell you about it, I was over here trying to tell my buddy how to start a business based on business books that I haven't read yet. You know what I mean? It's just, I was like, damn, kind of making fun of myself a little bit. Oh yeah. Sick. Got that one done. And then gonna do this real quick. And then I finally watched, I forgot again, I'm sorry if someone in, I think it was Sas, actually no, this Sasquatch recommended this. No, someone else recommended this, but we were talking about the Sega Saturn here a bunch. You remember the Sega Saturn? Yeah, I finally watched that Metal Jesus Rocks video about the Sega Saturn buying guide. All the games they recommended, I don't know, aren't really for me. Sega Saturn has a bunch of really good shoot 'em ups and some good fighting games, but like, yeah, I mostly want a Saturn just for like the super sick CD player interface it has, which I know is a random reason to buy a console, but yeah, one of these days. I want to get a Vita first though. I think I get a Vita and then a Saturn. Simply Hideo was telling me about how sick Vitas are, PS Vitas are. I've wanted one for so long. Yeah, I'm writing a quick note to someone named Chris. They got all 3 vinyl. Oh, Rosa says to hydrate. Oh, and Rosa says, me and my brother actually have been invested in the Beast game, so I'm gonna hang out and watch it Lamau. Good night, take care everyone. Later, Roses, always good to see you. Have fun watching Beast games. I'm gonna watch it soon too, actually, so hopefully I'll catch up with you pretty soon. And Run Mooney says, gotta head out for the night. I got a sleep schedule to fix. Always awesome talking to you. Y'all have a great night. See you in the next one. Catch you around, Run Mooney, dude. Yeah, honestly, we're gonna stop streaming in like 5 minutes. I'm not gonna lie to you. So, you know, we're all in the same, we're all in the same boat. Cause I know it's getting late on, especially on the East Coast. So, no worries. I'll pack one more order and call it there. Simply Dale says, oh, say bye. Hey, Simply Dale, thank you, man. That's cool. We're all friends. Who would have thought? Hell yeah. Or some, you know, the Hot Ones episodes of that one guy where he's like, hey, look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. You know what I mean? All right, sick. I also watched a video about how, dude. Oh yeah, Paul Rudd, I think. Yeah, it was Paul Rudd, Simply Dale. I always remember it was Ant-Man. I'm like, it was Ant-Man, but I don't know if that's his real name. Or is it his real name? Maybe he actually is Ant-Man in real life. Who would have thought? Yep. Yeah, I watched the video on Olympians, I guess, are like mega broke. Like the US government's like, yeah, if you get a medal, we'll give you like 20K, that's about it. But it's like, but bro, my trainer costs like 100K a year. And they're like, yeah, we'll figure it out. I guess like most Olympians like work day jobs on top of it. But like every other country is like, if you win a gold medal, we will you will be set for life. Like the government will like pay for everything for the rest of your life if you win a medal. But out here we're like, I mean, that's kind of cool, I guess, that you won. You know what I mean? But I just couldn't, I don't know, because of all my back stuff, dude, I couldn't imagine being like an athlete. That's like kind of cool, dude. And Simply Dale says, I always thought that, honestly, with like the Olympians not getting paid as much as they should. But they said that sucks, but it's actually something too. Yeah, true. Simply Dale says, maybe the sponsorships make up some of that too. Yeah, that's the thing, is that part of the video was breaking down is that, like, ironically, some of like the silver medal at like the sponsorships is like kind of like unrelated to how well you do in the games. Because like, let's say like you're like an influencer. Let's say you get bronze, but you also happen to be an influencer, like you're gonna get way more sponsorships than like the person that got gold. Because like honestly, at the end of the day, like a sponsorship really is like them crunching the numbers on like, if we give this guy $10,000 to talk about our product, then we expect to make 20K. But if like, you know, even though if you win gold and you just happen to not be able to sell their products effectively, you ain't getting that sponsor. So it's kind of like, you know, brutal business. Actually, wait, I'm gonna sign on the vinyl. I'll pack orders probably when my girlfriend gets back home. So yeah, but that's what the video was pretty much breaking down. And they were like, we're gonna, like, I guess the government made a thing so Olympians could find sponsors easier. But it's also like, dang, I gotta be a world-class athlete and know how to use Instagram? That's crazy. We're in a weird timeline, dude. We're in the best and the worst timeline at the same time. All right. Okay, after I sign this vinyl, then we'll call it. I was also watching a bunch of videos on Ryan Coogler, the director, because like a lot of what I've been hearing about him is like he broke the Hollywood system. He got ownership of his movies and stuff. And as someone who, like, I own all of Groovy Kaiju because I did everything with these hands. You know what I mean? So I'm always curious to see like other creators and how they like break the system. I'm like, maybe I'll learn something. But nah, they were pretty much just like the whole time, right? They're like, yeah, Ryan Coogler was kind of goated. What's crazy though is apparently he was, speaking of athletes, he was an athlete, and I guess he took like a film class or something, and they were like, yo, you should probably like take this seriously. You're actually kind of goated at this, even just from your homework. And he was like, yeah, you know, whatever. And I guess like at some point, like something with sports happened, and he was like, you know what? Let me find out, see how it goes. And then come to find out, yeah, he's like one of the best directors of all time now. And he was like, wow, who would have thought? Not me. Yeah, Subideo says, I just saw a headline that he won an award at the Golden Globes for box office. That's sick, dude. Yeah, one thing that like I've been seeing lots of things, speaking of the awards, seeing lots of things where it's like everyone's like, bro, how did Michael B. Jordan not get an award for playing twins? So he played 2 roles in Sinners, the movie that, like, again, did the box office stuff. He was the lead actor, but he was the lead actor twice because he played twins in the movie. So he played himself twice. Still didn't win an award, but then, like, Timothée Chalamet, like, everyone was like, oh my god, Marty Supreme, and everyone on the internet was like, bro, who likes Marty Supreme? What is happening? So yeah, so I thought it's just funny. It's a video, so that's Hollywood for you. Yeah, dude. It's a weird place, man. And have y'all ever seen that one guy that, like, pretends to be Peter Griffin in real life? I guess at some point, I watched like an interview from him at a panel at something, and they were like, "Did the creator of the Family Guy know that you're doing this?" And he was like, "Actually, yeah." At some point, I emailed them like, "Please don't sue me," and they're like, "Nah, man, you're cool. It's parody." And they're like, "Oh, okay, sick." Yeah, so I guess like legally he's in the clear to pretend like he's the real life Peter Griffin. Legally, so they're like, yeah, we couldn't sue you if we wanted to. And I guess like at some point they were actually planning a live action Family Guy episode, and I guess he was supposed to be in it, but like they ended up like canceling the whole idea to begin with. But he was like, damn, dude, I could have actually been verified real life Peter Griffin. So I was like, oh, that's sweet. How do y'all feel about Family Guy? I didn't realize how like kind of like popular it was until I was hanging out with Frank. And then Frank was like, yeah, everyone likes Family Guy. And I was like, really? And then yeah, then I after that point I started getting to like the Family Guy rabbit hole on the internet. And like, yeah, Family Guy is like beyond popular. Dale says, makes sense they wouldn't want their whole thing as parody anyways. I hope he gets his shot to be in it at some point. He's still going strong. Yeah, exactly. Shouts out to the real life Peter Griffin creator guy. Oh, and speaking of Family Guy, remember how earlier I was telling my one buddy to make American bento boxes business in Japan? I told him, dude, if you made the King of the Hill bento box, bro, you would go crazy. That shit would go crazy. You made a King of the Hill bento, dude, in Japan? Oh my god. It would just be like barbecue ribs and Marlboro cigarettes. Barbecue ribs made on propane, a propane grill, and Marlboro cigarettes. In like a Bud Light, dude. Simply Dale, the idea is right there. That's what I'm saying, dude. Yeah, we were just eating Korean food, going crazy with the American bento ideas. Or whatever, like, what else is Texas food? I don't know. But yeah, I think that's I just gotta sign like 2 more vinyl. And the Simply Dale says, when I was younger, I was more into The Simpsons, but as I'm getting older, it's slowly switching. I feel that, yeah. Yeah, Simpsons are pretty good. I remember like when the Simpsons movie dropped as a kid, I was like, yo, this is the greatest movie that's ever been made ever. The Simpsons movie still kind of stands up. Like Spider Pig, dude. Spider Pig was a whole vibe. But yeah, I think as a kid, I used to be like, not by kid, I mean like 14. I was always more into Family Guy. Because Simpsons are hella good, but I feel like it's too like, I don't know, Family Guy is more like bombastic, funny, I don't know. Whereas Simpsons is more like, haha, I don't know. Like, I guess like Family Guy is more like in your face funny, whereas Simpsons is more like subtle funny. Because King of the Hill is like extreme subtle funny. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, you get what I'm trying to say. And the Simply Dale says, oh yeah, and the fact we're getting another Simpsons movie is huge. I know, yeah, I'm super hyped to see that in theaters when it drops. That's gonna be super sick. But yeah, I want to go see another movie. I gotta go see another movie just so I stop thinking about Marty Supreme whenever I think about movies. I need like a palate cleanser, dude. Real bad. Before I start having nightmares of watching it again. Imagine just me in my bed like, no, don't make me watch Marty Supreme again. Please, God, no. Okay, yeah, I think after this we only have 50 Radical Reptars left, dude. That's crazy. Radical Reptar, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, I'll have to run the numbers to see if it's worth getting more. Or if I should just like risk it and like deadass just go and be like, you know what? No more vinyl until we get more Monster Tape 1 vinyl. I mean, like, not no vinyl at all, but you know what I'm trying to say. But I'm also kind of like, I could always like swap out the Radical Reptar vinyl for like just Real Monsters, but low-key, I think it's gonna sell good enough that I'm like, I think it might actually sell out, dude. I know I say that in like every email, but like this time, I mean, every time I genuinely think it might, because you never know when things are gonna, again, like I was saying earlier, what if you fly? You know what I mean? Not that I'm like, oh, unrealistically, I think I'm gonna sell out everything, but like, no, like legitimately, sometimes the math will tell me like, you can get real close. And it's always hard for me to tell like how much there really is demand for something. But it's Real Monsters, I think I only ordered 100 because all I could afford, but now I'm kind of like, dang, I wish I kind of, I don't know, we'll see when it drops. Hopefully I have some left over, but I might not. I don't know, I'm rambling. Plus, I think it's just you and me, Simply Dale, so. Yeah, never know till it happens, so yeah. Yeah, I think so, lol. Okay, for sure, yeah. Yeah, well, thanks for kicking it, man. I appreciate you hanging out to the very end. Especially because I know it's getting late on your end. It's like 1 a.m., right? Or no, like midnight. But yeah, I'm gonna sign 2 more vinyl, and then I think we'll call it. So we can both catch each other on Tuesday. Ugh. But yeah, so I know you're also into like, what's it called? All the Future Punk stuff. You've been watching like all the Fiber stories on MagFest, dude. I have so much FOMO, dude. And also video, yes, says it's 12 o'clock and I love the vibes of being here with you and everyone else. Really, hey, I'm glad to hear it, dude. Yeah, same here. It's honestly probably been, I'm very glad that we started doing this It's been nice to see like all the same faces over and over. Like it's really cool to like see a community pop up from just streaming all the order stuff. But yeah, I do feel bad I was so like behind on everything today. I usually try to like be able to like lock in and focus on everything that's going on, but I was so hungry, dude. Yes, it did. Wish could have gone to MagFest, dude. Same. Yeah, one of these years, dude. For real, for real. Especially because I saw that Mickey in art, the person who did the cover for Straw Monsters and Rock Reptar, she went this year. We've never actually met in person, but we've been working together for like 4 years now. So I've yet to meet her, and I really want to like be like, yo, thank you for making all the art for like all of my albums and stuff. Well, she did Rock Reptar, Monster Shape Zero, and the Straw Monsters. She's been like my go-to for album cover, character design stuff. But yeah, I'm like, dang, literally everyone I want to meet is there right now. But maybe next year, I don't know. The way things are going, maybe next year we'll pull up. Yeah, it would have been good timing. Yeah, self-care comes first. Without food, you wouldn't have been out of it probably. It is energy. It literally, yeah. In fact, I think I'm gonna eat some ice cream right now. Keeping it real. But sick. Well, cool. That's all the orders I wanted to, all the vinyl I wanted to, what's it called? Sign. So I'll start wrapping up. Same, dude. Same on the ice cream or same on the MagFest? Put this away. Boop. Gotta make a thumbnail. Hell, both. Who knows? Hey, oh, you got churro ice cream sandwiches, dude. Oh shit, that sounds so good. Hell yeah. All right, I gotta make a thumbnail real quick. I'm sorry, I have to be a cringy guy. I know the title, so I'm gonna be like, I'll do this way. No, this way. All right, hopefully that looks good. If not. All right, what's up, Dale, dude? Thanks for hanging out, dog. And if anyone else is lurking by any chance, thank you for lurking. It's pretty good. Okay, cool. Thank you, Silverdale. Yeah. But yeah, you enjoy your churro ice cream sandwiches. I'm gonna go eat my little like ninja creamy thing and feed my cats because I'm sure they're hungry too. And then if you're watching this and you ordered the VOD by any chance, I swear everything I just printed out, me and my girlfriend are gonna do, and I'm gonna try to get in the mail tomorrow. All of these orders. We'll go ahead and get them in the mail tomorrow for you, because me and my girlfriend are both like night owls. But yeah, so dude, for I appreciate you, dog, and yeah, dude, good luck making those mixes, and I'm glad that dude, Run Mooney checked them out, dude. So that's so sick that they checked them out. Yeah, see you in the next one, and thank you too for the push. I'm gonna start formulating. All right, sick. I'm glad to hear how it goes. And again, no pressure, you know what I mean? But I love, I don't know. Again, it's like a weird thing, but I just love pushing the homies to be like, yo, like, do it, man. You can do it, dude. Do that shit. You know what I mean? So yeah, completely geeking because of that. Hell yeah, dude. I'm glad. But dude, yeah. All right, well, I'll catch you around, dog. See you Tuesday, if anything. And yeah, or anybody else who's lurking, see you Tuesday. I'll catch you around. Enjoy your churro ice cream. All right, peace, dude.